Hi, welcome to the round 22 fan cams. The day after, it's the Sunday fan cams after the Blues get a thrilling win against the D's. Stand by. What's going on here, mate? Get your shit together. Too busy celebrating. Um, so that was fun last night, and we only had about an hour. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to go through another layer of fan cams for those who didn't get a chance to come on last night. And I think the difference with this one will be we can talk about the game, which we will, of course, but we will also talk about everyone's celebrations because I'm sure everyone celebrated in a different way, depending on where you were in the world. So that's going to be fun. Now, if you want to come on, I'm going to put the link in the chat once. So this is your chance. There's the link. And let's just get this show started because there's so many stories I want to hear. Joe Adamo, mate.
I don't know. Like I said to you today, what do you say? What do you even say at this point?
Yeah.
It's just crazy, mate. We just became the first team in VFL AFL history to win 8 straight after losing 6 straight.
Yep.
Like it's not just this isn't just uncharted territory for us. Like this is unprecedented shit in the history of this game. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
We G'd each other up Monday night after Gold Coast, I think. We played the clip last week or the week before. And we're like, 8 to be that guy or 8 to say it, but we're still a chance and we haven't lost since. It's ridiculous.
We did that. I said to Rocco today. By the way, my voice breaks up, but it doesn't come back, so I'm teetering. I'm on the edge. I said to Rocco today, I remember doing the jumper punch mid-season with Dan. And I remember sitting on the couch going, what are we doing any of this for? Like, what are we doing here? We're 4-8. Like this is just ridiculous. Like, what's the point of this? And there's no way anyone could have said at that point, you're going to win the next 8 straight. And we would have believed them. Like we said, we had hope, right? You've always got to have hope. This is what we said. Like, what's the point of any of this if you don't have at least hope, right?
Yeah.
But there's a difference between hope and belief. And at that time, as much as we hoped it would happen, none of us, Tez, neither you or I, no one could have said that we truly believed that this was coming. None of us.
No. I think we were saying if we can win the ones that we're supposed to win and then pinch one of Collingwood, Melbourne, and Port, then we're a chance. If we can get 2 of those 3, then we're a real chance. It's not done yet. There's still 2 games to go. Now, I copped a little bit of flack because I declared finals was clinched. And I believe now that the Giants lost today, that is now the case for sure? Or
listen,
have I got that wrong?
I still don't think it's for sure, but from here,
Okay.
It would have to take something even more unprecedented than the last 8 wins straight for us to lose a spot. So, and you know what? To be fair, if it's going to happen to anyone, it's probably us.
We'll cover it just in case.
No, it should be. It should be locked in. That's it. We've got September plans, and it's not holidays. We've got September plans at the MCG. It's crazy. It is crazy,
mate. Finals content.
How was hey, finals content is going to be good fun. How was your night?
I was pretty low key in the end because I knew I wanted to be. So I needed, I had shit to do today, so I didn't want to go hectic into the early hours of the morning. I'd still enjoyed myself, had a few drinks, had an HSP, ordered another one. Yeah. So that's about as crazy as it got. And then I was in bed by like 2:30 because I know the routine. You wake up, review, and then a win like this, there's just content ideas. Like they haven't stopped it all through my head. I feel like my mind's about to explode, but like I'm saying it in a really good way. It's awesome.
Yeah. Nah, we didn't have a big night. I know Paul Sebastiani had a big night. I spoke to him today. They
Yep.
they celebrated like we won the flag.
Yeah.
But nah, it was good. It was just like I'm trying to think of a word, and there's a lot of words that have run through my head to describe it. And like you bundle in the Matildas experience, which was just like that was something that never ever none of us have probably ever experienced, right? Like where there's that crossover, and everyone in the stadium, whether you were a Melbourne or a Carlton supporter, at one point in that game, you all wanted the same thing at the footy. Like that's never ever happened. So you bundle that in with the win and the emotion, and it's like you said today, it's literally a year, almost to the day, almost to the minute that Cozzy Pickett broke our hearts, and it happened. Like we exercised, no pun intended, we exercised the demons, and it's like I can't. The only word that keeps coming to me, it was just magical, man. Like you can't write this shit. You can't. No one can write this shit. It's insane. It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
I can't wrap my head around it.
And we all do it for one reason or another, where we look ahead, we try and make the conclusion, and based off a 3-game stretch or a 2-game stretch, we all do it because we all want some level of certainty, but nobody could pick this one.
No. You can lie to yourself and say that, oh yeah, I saw eight straight coming. No one. And I'll tell you, if we were top four, it'd be ours to lose. Yeah. Unfortunately, through our own wrongdoings earlier in the year, we don't have a chance at top four. Unfortunately, It doesn't look that way anyway. But do I think we will win the flag? I don't know. Can we win it? Tez, man. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Like we said 8 weeks ago, why not? Why can't we go on a run? Like, why can't this be us this year? Why can't we do it? It's crazy.
You're not wrong.
It's crazy, man.
You're not wrong. How do you see the inclusions situation playing out? Because from my count, who's going to be potentially available next week? Maybe.
So I think they've said Walshy's in, right?
Okay.
So there's your first selection headache. Like, who comes out? Is it Dow? If we're talking midfield, it'd be harsh because the kid's right on the cusp. Like we spoke today, I just think he's right on the cusp of having that 30 disposal, 2-goal game that just goes, you know what? We're going to give this kid a contract all of a sudden. But I don't know. We've on the podcast, we've binned the ins and outs. We don't even do it anymore because it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Good point.
They've shown it doesn't matter, man. Anyone can step out on that park. Doesn't matter. They'll get the job done.
It's a great place to be. That is a great thing to be saying. Yeah.
Crazy. Like 8 weeks ago, we were saying we didn't have depth past our 10th player. Now it's like anyone step up. It's crazy.
Yeah. Who was your player of the game?
I haven't really thought about it a lot, to be honest. Newman was brilliant again. It's an easy one at this point to say. Honestly, for his last quarter, and said it on the podcast last week, he did it against the Saints too. But Paddy Dow, man, like if we're talking about probably not player of the game, but player when we needed it, last quarter, just a bull.
Yeah.
And it's just something that it's come out of nowhere for Paddy, and he's taken it by the horns, and he's just gone, I'll do it. No problem. So proud father, man.
I love it. There was a moment in the fourth, I think he was on the back flank. He thought his way through the contest. Like he was about to go forward and bang it on the boot or maybe handball, and then he stopped and then went inboard. I'm like,
that's a moment.
Thought his way through it,
Yeah, that's it.
So
George Hewitt as well. I've seen in the comments. George Hewitt was huge.
yeah, it was.
But man, like it's a team effort again. It's a team effort again. The pressure, this Fox Footy pressure gauge, whatever it is, I think at quarter time showed the D's were at 200, which is elite, and we just went, "Fuck you, we'll go to 238." Whatever, give us everything, and we'll top it. So that's where we're at the moment, man. It's like you said, it's a really, really nice place to be, and it's just nice knowing that we're going to be there in at least the first week of finals at this point, 2 rounds out from the end of the season. Like, that's just crazy. It's crazy.
Thank goodness that they didn't leave it to the last week. Well,
yes, absolutely. Yeah. As much as the AFL obviously wanted it with that 16 time slot. So, bad luck. We'll just get 50,000 baggers into Marvel, and we'll watch us slap GWS by 10 goals going into week 1.
Yeah. 8:15 tomorrow. 8:15.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, this was supposed to be the podcast slot, but Dan double booked as usual.
That's okay.
But yes, tomorrow night after the Blue Broad show, join us. Almost Blues Brothers live 8:15. We'll see what time you guys wrap up, but it'll be straight after that.
Yeah, love it. I love it. Well, Joe, mate, we'll see you and the boys tomorrow night.
I need sleep, man.
Get it, mate. See you, bro. Ari, mate,
what is it?
What's happening?
I feel like these, just some content idea. I feel like these are a good day after fan cams. I feel like it could be a thing.
I agree. To do fan cams without the stress of a game, and then like with a tea, and it's like, oh, we've all had a sleep, we all went out or did something. It adds a layer to the fan cams, mate.
Rational thoughts. I feel like something to experiment. Maybe next year.
Yeah. Now look, I'm here for your opinion, obviously, clearly, but what I'm really here for is, and what everyone is here for, is the stat. So can we start with the stat, and then we can get your thoughts on the game?
We can start with the stat. So obviously, the stat had to be themed around. It didn't have to be themed around, but I thought after what happened in Brisbane and what the Matildas were able to do, I thought you have to get them in at some stage, right? So the last time Carlton beat Melbourne in a round that is a multiple of 11 and was played on the 12th of the month, with the Matildas scoring a goal at a World Cup in that same month, was 1995.
The Matildas were playing in 95 on the same night.
Not on the same night, the same month.
Same month.
So we beat Melbourne in round 11 on the 12th of June in 95, and the Matildas played their 95 World Cup campaign in Sweden in June. And obviously we played round 22 in August. Matildas scored a goal in August at a World Cup.
The man with the stat. By the way, speaking of the Matildas, Wednesday night we're going to do a watch along here on the channel. So yeah, that's what's happening.
That's going to be insane.
Yeah. So watching, tune in. Yes, Ari. So tell me the game. Tell me everything.
Well, I didn't actually see a lot of the first quarter because I had my eyes fixated on the Matildas. But what I did see was domination, and my dad was watching the game. My dad was fully intent on the game. I went to him a quarter time after the game finished, and he was like, "Yeah, we've been dominating. Like it was probably the most dominant quarter that we've had probably in this eight win stretch in terms of field position, inside 50s, territory, etc. We just couldn't hit the scoreboard, and obviously that they had one inside 50 and kicked the goal, which I mean it's a different Carlton, but it's also the same Carlton. Red time goals. You can never fully eradicate it all, right? But no, I just thought it was a job that needed to be done, and you can say all you want about whether or not it was touched. You can say about some of the umpiring decisions late, whatever. But you make your own luck, and the harder you work, the harder you work, the luckier you get. It's life rewards, and the footy gods rewards those who deserve it. And I feel like did we deserve to win? Yes. In the way that we won. Maybe not, but I feel like over the course of the game, we deserve to win.
Yeah. It was different because it was the first half for me, usually with the game, like there's an arm wrestle with two teams, and it usually goes on for about 10, 15 minutes, maybe a quarter, and it's just an arm wrestle. And I felt like that arm wrestle did not stop until halftime or after halftime. It was just like no team was letting up. It was just great defense on great defense. And I was like, okay, this is real now. This is finals football. This is premiership standard contending football.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of been a theme with our games against Melbourne over the past couple of years. I feel like even the one that we've had earlier on in the year, like didn't get above 4 goals, 3 goals for the whole game. I think the largest margin was, I think the largest margin of the game was when we went 3 goals up, 10 minutes inside inside the last, I should say, which is a testament a lot to the way the game was played, right, and how it was played. But I feel like obviously we started the third really well, kicked a couple, started the fourth exceptionally well, and in both of those quarters we faded out and we just kind of had to hold on. I feel like the third and the fourth quarter ended in similar ways, with Melbourne pressing and Joel Smith and Alex Nabullen kicking goals out of the backside, like of course they will against us, right? But no, I was really proud with the endeavour and the effort and the ability to, I wouldn't say learn from our mistakes of last year, because I feel like I don't think last year's we had mistakes. I just feel like we just weren't. I don't think they were mistakes because I don't think we knew any better because we hadn't been in those positions before. We were naive, we were ignorant to what is needed to win those games against that type of opposition in those finals-like environments, both against Collingwood and against Melbourne. Now I think we've been splashed in the face with cold water, and it's like, oh yeah, this is what we need to do. Now we know. And I feel like we did well to almost do a reverse 180 of what happened last year with Petrarca playing the role of Pickett. Just quickly, do you think it was touched? I to be honest, I didn't watch the fan cams last night because I was indulging, as I think a lot of us were.
It wasn't touched.
It wasn't touched. You could
I'm
drive a
surprised
bus.
that there's this much of a like discussion about it, to be honest.
Yeah, you could drive a bus between the gap between the ball and Marchbank's finger.
Mate,
Unless
it was touched. The history books will say it was touched, and that's all that matters.
Exactly. The history books, and at the end of the day, right, that's all that matters, right? At the end of the day, and it's quite funny how, like I said, you make your own luck, and a lot of umpiring decisions were very interesting throughout the game, but it's one of those things, right? Yeah, there's just a lot to be proud of, about last night. I didn't believe like that we were able to, that we could do it, because I don't know if this is the pin that's dropped or the straw that breaks the camel's back in my mind of thinking, no, there's no more PTSD. Like they've shown it so many times before, the Collingwood game, the St Kilda game, and now today, or yesterday I should say, how we've beaten 3 kind of areas, or we've done 3 things that last year we wouldn't have done. We beat Collingwood in a way that we wouldn't have beaten them last year. We beat St Kilda in a way that we didn't beat them 4 months ago, or not even 3 months ago. And now we beat Melbourne in a way that we didn't beat them a year ago. So I think they've proven to us now that the tide has finally turned. And I say this with so much caution, because you can never be too certain, right?
Well, my take on the PTSD thing is that we're not a basket case anymore. We can put that to bed. Like, we're going to lose a game. We're going to lose a game in the future. We're going to lose a heartbreaking game in the future, in the next, whether it's this year, next year, or in the next few years. But I think it's more about me personally, mine was like, oh, are they ever going to do it? Are they ever going to become a good team? Are they? Because we've seen basket cases and diabolical teams for. We haven't just seen bad teams; they've been like awful to watch.
Yeah, like historically bad teams.
Yeah, so it's like that party's gone now. They're competent.
Yeah. I think what you said was actually very poignant. They finally did it. Like the PTSD has come from us not being able to do it at all. Now
Yeah.
that we've done it, it's like, okay, we're gonna lose again. Like
Yeah.
in an alternate universe, Petrarca gets another meter on that ball and it sails through comfortably, and there's no drama, and Melbourne win that game. That's not us not knowing how to win. That's just Christian Petrarca being one of the best players in the comp and dobbing it from 55 with 40 seconds to go. That's not our fault, right? But what was your like? Did you what? I was interested because I spoke to my dad about this. What was the reaction or the nerves with a minute to go different or the same as to what it was last year?
The same, just magnified, because it was knife edge. It was like binary. It was either we're gonna fuck it up again, or we're gonna do it. And it was like we're so close to the moment again, like we were last year for 2 rounds in a row. And then it was just so binary to me. That's why I'm really confident that like we're gonna play finals, because it's like, no, that was the moment. You do it, you don't do it. And so yeah.
Really, yeah. No, I can't disagree at all. I mean, look, I want to play devil's advocate. There is a reality in which we don't make it. However, there's also a reality in which I wake up and there's $1 billion in my bank account. So,
Correct.
like, let's all live in a realistic world rather than a overly pessimistic or over optimistic world.
Allow me to have this much arrogance and say we're playing finals.
Yes. We're in. And if we're in, and if we're not in, then if we don't play finals, then I don't know. I quit supporting sport in general. But no, it was a very, very good night. One of the best nights in terms of supporting sport I've ever had. That was insane.
I found a video of you last night. I was going to tell you before I came on, but like it's okay. It's not going to it's not a bad video, but can I play it? Do I have your permission?
Oh, I'm really nervous. Go do it.
So I have your permission?
Yeah. What's the worst could happen, right? I trust your judgment.
It's a yes or no question.
Yes, I give consent.
Absolutely amazing. This is the best night of my life ever. I just can't believe I'm here. I think I'm dreaming. I just can't.
This guy, he's a jokester, comedian. No, it's all right.
I thought it was cute. It reminded me of you.
That reminded me. No, it's all right. I'll you know what? I'll take it as a compliment.
It's a compliment, mate. Ari, that was great, mate, and glad you enjoyed it. And the rest will be happening on Tuesday at 6 p.m. this week. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes. I just need confirmation from Nathan, but yes, because that's the plan. Because the Matildas are making history. So
yeah, they are.
Everyone get on the Matildas bandwagon because it's sporting history. I'm telling you.
All right. We'll see you Tuesday night, mate.
See you, mate.
Okay. Nick Wishart. Hello, mate.
G'day, brother. How you doing?
I've been looking forward to chatting with you on the fan cams all day.
Likewise, brother. How about those baggers, mate? They're all right. I just heard you talking with Ari about like how you felt in the last 2 minutes, and you were saying it was only going to go one of two ways. We were either going to choke again, or we were going to, see the opposite of last year. Cosy Pickett broke our hearts last year in the last minute, and Melksham. And there's a video I saw during the week. I actually think the AFL or Channel 7 or someone might have shared it, and it talked about how there's a condition as a footy fan and how footy can break your heart, but footy can also heal your heart. Last night, footy healed my heart. Genuinely, like we talk about the PTSD of how last year ended. Just look at like the learnings, just look at the growth, and it's no longer just words and catchphrases being pumped out by a marketing team at the club, or the green shoots under Brendan Bolton, and Teague said, we've got to improve our consistency and show more learnings. They're just words. Now we're seeing tangible substance. We can see the growth now. Last year, they probably let that game slip. There's no one's complaining about injuries all of a sudden. No one's saying, oh, but what about this, this, and this? We're saying we're winning in spite of that.
Mhm.
I think they've made massive inroads on and off the field this year. And to be honest, I'm so proud to be a Carlton fan right now.
Yeah.
What a night last night was.
Yeah. Well, look, all supporters wear what the club have given us over the last period of time.
Yep.
You've obviously been involved in the cheer squad for many years now. So there are more layers to what you do and what the cheer squad do and what you've experienced than the widespread fan. So
Sure.
How many interstate trips have you been to? How much of all that, all the organizing, the banner nights, like all these things that don't get spoken about, the intangibles. And it's like, just to see that last night.
Yep. It came up on my was it Facebook on this day or something, was about 3 or 4 weeks ago, was the anniversary of when Mick Malthouse got the flick 2015. And I remember that night, that came as we were driving to Banner Night that night, Nicole Muller and I, and we were going, so back in those days, they lived in Chelsea, I was in Frankston or Mornington actually in those days, so we'd be driving almost an hour and 45 minutes in the middle of winter out to Taylor's Lakes to do Banner Night for a team coached by Mick Malthouse. It was just an absolute basket case. And I remember Muller put a thing on Facebook or tagged us saying we're on our way to Banner, and all the people in the comments are going, you guys are mad. Like, what are you doing with your lives? And our response was, oh, well, you got to put up with this if you're going to then enjoy the good times. And, when my wife and I got together 2018, that year Carlton won 2 games. And I think collectively between the two of us, between flights, accommodation, tickets to games, merchandise, functions, best and fairest tickets, whatever, memberships, all of that, I reckon we probably spent 20 grand as a couple on the club that year for 2 wins. But we wouldn't take it back for God, it's not that those times harden you or anything like that. That's what that club means to us. And we're not alone in that. There's, 94,000 members or something we're at the moment. We're not any special or more of a fan or anything like that because we turn up interstate every week. There's a legion of fans who turn up interstate every week. And this coming week in the Gold Coast, I know that the cheer squad bay is sold out, but I'm almost pretty certain that the 2 bays next to us are also sold out. So there's going to be a huge turnout in the Gold Coast this weekend. And that's not just bandwagoners. That shows, how much this club means to so many people. But last night there were, I'm not afraid to say it publicly, I was crying at the end of the game because I got that PTSD you were talking about. That kid you just showed, that was actually me. That wasn't Ari. That was actually me. That was me.
I went early.
I'm not even ashamed of it. Like the PTSD of last year, when we got to about 90 seconds to go, I turned around to Risto. I said to the Godfather, I said, oh, you can just Cosy Pickett's going to do it again or something, isn't he? Or Petrarca or someone. And when Petrarca's kick nearly went through, I thought that was it. And so did a cheeky Melbourne fan on the fence. And he decided to turn around to the cheer squad and he starts doing this one. You lost again. Sit down, shut up, shit down. And when I saw Caleb Marchbank break his wrist and break 4 fingers and a thumb, spoiling that ball sending it into orbit, I just made sure I gave him a couple of receipts. And I saw that you shared the photo. Just meant to make sure that keep your receipts, kids, because chat shit, get banged. He who laughs loudest.
Well,
And
I'm glad you brought that up because I brought the photo with me, and I can't tell you, Nick. It's the best footy photo I've ever seen. Check it out. Oh wait, no, hang on. I got to do this differently. Well, that's that. That's also great. Hang on. How do I do this? I know how to do this. Bear with me. What a peanut. No, that's the backgrounds. I know how to do this. How do I do this?
I believe in you.
Like I've forgotten how to use this. Where is it? So set the scene. He said he gives you the shush, and you give one.
So
just back to him.
so Petrarca's kick goes through,
Yep.
and the instant reaction. This guy, and they were copping a little bit. In fairness to them, that's them. So the guy with the hoodie on was the one who gave us the shush, and his little mate wasn't the one who did it, but he was vocal all night, and they were saying certain things about Charlie Curnow and you're this and you're overrated and what a flop and all this and you'll never amount to anything and you're going to choke again. And well, cheer squad, I mean, as usual, I thought the cheer squad last night were insane atmosphere. I'm loving all the supporters and everyone who are buying tickets near us each week because they want to be part of the atmosphere. And this guy told us to sit down and shut up and you're all chokers. You've choked again, and gave us the shush. And as I heard umpires call his touched, I knew that it wasn't going to get overturned because I was, we've all seen the replay. It was pretty bloody close either way. I don't really care either way whether it was or wasn't touched at this point. As you said, history says it wasn't touched. And I just made sure I went down and gave him a receipt. And one of the great, to be honest, I'm kind of rapt that someone captured it because I was going to tell everyone. I was going to tell everyone the story anyway, and now I've kind of got this to kind of say, you know what, speak shit about my club, I dare you. And I think that attitude is, we talk about the arrogance being back at Carlton and stuff, but that's how I'm feeling. It's like, well, we've had years of people putting shit on us, and it's not about giving shit back or anything like that. It's just about, as a club, standing up for yourselves and letting people know that we're Carlton.
Well, I think it's classy. Like, it's just subtle, and I don't know. I'm going to find out.
Oh, well, that's the PG version. So
okay.
once the siren went, I'm going to be honest, they took it a lot classier than I did, and I carried on a bit after the game and let them know as they walked out. But to his credit, to the bloke's credit, he came up and gave me a handshake and said, congratulations, etc. So he handled it a lot better after the fact than I did. But I'm just sick of seeing people trample on our club, but more specifically, I think cheer squads are a lightning rod for abuse, and opposition fans. The chances are if you're sitting in that seat, a general admin seat for an away game at the opposition's cheer squad end, it's the one game a year you're going to, sort of thing, and you're not one of the diehards are turning up each week and you're only there to have a drink and talk shit to people. Well, those sort of people, if they want to talk shit about my cheer squad and my mates, I'm more than happy. You play with fire, you get burned, I reckon.
I love it. Well, mate, thank you for joining, and thanks for the everything you do as well. So we'll look forward to the next chapter of the season with you.
Back at you, brother, and congratulations on you guys. I saw during the week, last week it was, your video with Eddie Maguire. I just want to bring that up. That was one of the better things I've seen, not on this platform, but any fan channel in a long, long time. That to me was not just a talk about footy and that sort of thing. I thought the way it's really hard to get Eddie to shut up. We know that, but the way you handled that interview, you've got a guest like that, just let him do it. And what a storyteller, what an interesting bloke. And I thought the way you guided and led the conversation was brilliant, and I thought it was awesome. So congrats to you.
Thank you, mate. One of my missions with the interview with him was to get him to tell me about his trauma. So I played it a little.
He might have mentioned Wayne Harms a couple of times, didn't he?
He did. I just wanted to make
sure. In the car park at the Hilton, he was. Yeah, well.
Yeah. So,
brilliant stuff.
All right, mate.
Peace out. Have a good one. Go the Blues, everyone.
Go Blues. All right. What's going on here? Beachy. You can't do a fan cams without Beachy on the fan cams. That's rule number 1 of the fan cams.
Well, first of all, that's right, because your sister's now going to be expecting me on after I ran into her last night with the boys. So you've got to please her as well. So you've done that. Thank you.
Yes. Mate, tell me about your night.
Mate, well, I got there early, wanted to watch the Matildas. We all know what happened there. Great story there. We want that to keep going. So anyway, game gets started. I'm sitting there. I'm nervous. But as it gets later, I've got a few Melbourne supporters sitting around me. It gets close. We're about to win. Silence gone. I've gone up. I've had a Carlton supporter sitting in front of me. I've fived her a few times. I've gone the goal. We've beaten them because that was going to be another traumatic experience if we'd got that done. And then I had a Melbourne supporter decide to say, D's were robbed. What a waste of space. Carlton are going to be in the 8. And I've just said to him, without turning around or anything, I've just said, nothing wrong with showing respect, mate. Nothing wrong with showing respect whatsoever. You've been beaten. You could have won. You didn't. That's exactly what happened. We've won. You need to get on and move to next week. Because after what I saw with Hawthorn and the Bulldogs, you've now got a difficult task ahead of you. Upon exiting the ground, I've run into the besties, spoken to Jasmina, had a little bit of chat there. On my way back to the tram stop, I've then run into Michael Maloney, Paul Sebastiani, your sister, and Rocco. I've had a photo with your sister, so you might have to ask her about that.
I've seen it.
And, okay, good. And I was high-fiving people. I was hugging people. Mate, it was a great night for me. It was a great night for everybody, including yourself and all the people that are younger than us that have not had any success to show for it whatsoever.
Yeah, it truly was. Where does your mind go as to your levels of belief with this group? What are they capable of this year?
There's no limits now. As far as I'm concerned, there is no limits. We've got Gold Coast up on the Gold Coast this week, which I'm actually flying up for. So, this is a game that I'm looking forward to. We've got GWS the following week, who now have probably the most difficult task after getting spanked by Port Adelaide. So, if we get 2 wins there, that's perfect. Even just 1 win from there, which would pretty much clinch it. And then, finals. We get to finals, we face whoever we face. I presume we might get 8th. So, that could be anybody at this point. But now we need to make sure we continue that job. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter where it is. We have to keep winning if we want to keep that belief and that confidence.
Well said. Well, Beachy, mate, Steph was rapt to see you. I've told you many times you're a fan favorite. Can confirm you're a fan favorite in the family, not just my family, but I think many families. I think the whole Blue Broad family have you there. And mate, let's just ride through whatever the next 2 months holds for us.
Exactly, and I was very happy to see Steph as well. A little bit of a chat here and there. But, mate, we were just happy that Carlton won. And it was just, what, I'm going to say this. This is probably the best win I've seen against Melbourne. You've heard it here first. I said to you in that story, they're hard games to pick out. But for me, that's number one. That's number one for me straight away. It's
a good point. Because in the story of video, I didn't have one where I was like, oh, remember that awesome win against the D's? I'm glad you mentioned that. That automatically goes to the top of the list against Melbourne in our lifetime anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be people that were a generation before us that can pick one out. But for me, this was hard to pick. And, I'm glad that we've now got one because that's it for me. I've got that there. And it was just satisfying to get because I was getting flashbacks to last year and we were actually able to exercise that demon mentally as well.
Yeah. Beachy, I'll see you on the Gold Coast, mate. 2:10 p.m. Saturday.
Too easy, mate. I'll see you at the function.
See ya, mate. Stephen says no limits. Thank you very much for the $100, mate. That is very generous. Jed,
G'day, Terry. How you going?
mate, look at the setup. I love it.
What a game.
What a game. Absolutely. Tell me all about it from your point of view.
Oh, I was out for dinner with the wife, and then, came back in, watched the end of the Matildas, and then, flicked over, and we just went from tension to tension. Literally lying on the floor when Petrarca kicked it, and I thought it had gone through, but, definitely touched on the line. I don't know what you're talking about before, but, they're just running around the house doing laps. The dog was awfully confused what was going on. He'd been sleeping on the couch. Don't know how he was sleeping through the yelling, but it was great. Just the scenes. It was amazing.
What was going through your mind with 5 minutes to go, 2 minutes to go?
Just get it out of the D50. Can we stop bombing it and having to go straight out? Just needed we needed Harry, really. Needed Harry there, take that clutch mark, and we were home free. There's a lot of talk, I think, about how well we've done with our depth. I completely agree with it. But there are some guys you just wish were out there still. And someone like a Harry just to come and take one of those big clunking marks in the last couple of minutes, really missed. But hey, they got the job done. You can't complain.
Yeah. That's the question. A lot of the discussion around me last night was around, we're doing it without 6 of our best 22 or 7 of our best 22, and depending on where you rank them, could be 3 of our best 6 players. It's exciting more than what it is anything else to me, knowing that we've got a system to rely on. It relies on defensive application for 4 quarters, and then on top of that, it's like, okay, we bring in just Harry alone. What that does to free up Charlie, what that does to give us more relief around the ground. And just to allow us to dominate the movement of the ball. Yeah.
Just to give us more spread up forward as well. We're missing, both Harry and JSOS. And it's just, you got Kerner being double teamed every contest. But no, it's amazing to see. Yeah, even with those disadvantages, they're getting it done. And like you said, it's the system. I think for a few years, we were crying out for a 4-quarter performance, please. Well, that's the most complete 4-quarter performance I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
At least from our boys. That was it was unreal. The pressure was just through the roof and they stood up under it. It was amazing.
Yeah. What's your story for the next 2 weeks? Where do you watch the games?
I'll miss next week. I'm off on a work trip. I'm over in Tonga. So I don't know what kind of coverage I'll be able to get over there, but we'll see how we go. But yeah, then I'm hoping I can get to the game. See from back in time to snag my tickets, or if I'm still stuck overseas with some dodgy Wi-Fi, seeing if I could refresh the page and get in.
Now, your setup, it's not a normal setup. That's a real setup.
Yeah, no, I work in the film TV world. So,
what do you do?
I'm an audio engineer.
Okay.
So I do sort of mixing and live sound sort of stuff.
Okay. Well, we need to talk.
Yeah, go. Love it.
We need to talk.
I've done a few live streams for things, so you're interested?
Yeah. I have you got, you're on Instagram?
Yeah.
All right. Send me a message on Instagram so I know which account yours is, and I need some help, because it may look good what I've got going on here, but I don't actually know what is actually going on. So yeah. Awesome, mate. Well, thanks for joining, and see you in a few weeks.
No worries. Thanks for having us.
80 bucks. Watch the replay today. It was a gutsy win considering our outs. Yeah, it was a gutsy win. They've been gutsy wins for the last few. Okay. All right. Jason, it's time. Hello, mate.
Hey, Tez, how are you?
Good, man. How are you?
Yeah, very well. Very well. I just got to say, I'm glad I got the context of that photo. That's a bloody awesome story and a sensational photo. I loved it.
Yeah. I think it just affirms to me, maybe we should try and do fan cams the day after a game as well, because so much comes to us when it comes to content, whether it's photos or videos or whatever. And you're right. That photo has a story, and we all know what it is now forever.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and emotions run high after games, whether it's positive or negative. And sometimes we just need to simmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, how'd you see the game and what'd you do afterwards?
I went to the game. I sit on level 2. I actually brought my wife. It was actually the first Carlton game that we've been together since 2018, actually, where it was Carlton North, and we got absolutely smashed. And she hasn't been back with me since until last night. So it was pretty special for us. She's not actually typically a Carlton supporter. She's half Carlton, half Richmond, sort of. But she started to use different language. She starts to say "we," we're going to win and that sort of stuff. So I reckon I'm turning her around.
You are doing God's work, mate.
Yeah, no, it was a special night. Absolutely.
Yeah. What were some of the storylines that maybe haven't been given as much attention that you saw?
Well, to be honest, like the last 8 games, every game has had a story. There's been objectives that have been ticked off. People say, "Oh, the Gold Coast win, it's just Gold Coast," and the Hawthorn win, it's just Hawthorn. But there are games last year where, we were up by 50 points and then they come back. We really struggled to put the foot in the throat of those sort of teams, and so we tick that off the list, and then we tick off, Port Adelaide, and absolutely make a statement and smash them. Then you go to Collingwood, that's redemption. Then you go to St Kilda, that's a bogey side that we haven't beaten in a long time, and then and now Melbourne, like, again, redemption. Like, it was the mirror image of last year, but we actually were able to change the story. So it's just every game means something in a different way, and it's just sensational.
It is. Seeing everybody's reaction, not only at the game but afterwards too, just in the street. Anybody that had a Carlton scarf, like, I was talking to, like, anybody. So it kind of gave me a bit of a vision of what happens after a final or grand final, and like, there's so many more levels to still go, like, to come. Like, we're only just beginning now. So
it is. And like, we might give finals a shake up. I'm a bit of a realist. I really find it hard to see us in a granny this year, but in my head I'm thinking, our ceiling is a prelim. But I mean, I didn't think it was realistic for us to win 8 in a row either, So who knows? All
right. Well, mate, thanks for joining. Appreciate it.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Hey, mate. Brandon.
Nothing's wiping this smile off my face. It's been 22 hours. It's not going anywhere.
Nor should it, mate.
I still have no words. Genuinely, it's. I tweeted it last night. I'm turning 22 this month. I've never been this happy going to the football. I've never felt this confident watching my team play. They're giving me so much each week. It's man, like, you can hear me now. I can't put words to it. It's the most amazing thing.
Have you watched the replay yet?
I watched the mini. I haven't watched the full replay.
Same.
But
same.
Yeah, I've definitely watched all the goals again, and it was
well, I've watched the highlights of the goals, but tomorrow morning, after the gym, I'll be sitting down on the couch watching the replay. For
I think it'll definitely be a midweek thing.
Work purposes, obviously.
Yeah. Man, just so good. So good. Like,
what were
sorry, go.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what were some of the themes and issues that came up in your mind that we haven't touched on?
Mate, we've touched on almost everything, but I mean, the thing that sticks out for me is we're beating big teams in big games now, and we're closing out games. Like, I never in my life have I seen us closing out games in the way we are now, and just like, we don't win this game in 2022. I said the same thing last week with St Kilda. We don't win this game traditionally, and to see us putting in the effort. I've never been this confident watching the football. I've never seen us play like this, and I think it lies with the players that have had question marks over them. Guys like your Jack Martin, Cunningham, Paddy Dow, Zach Fisher. Those guys have just been outstanding the last 2, 3, 4 weeks. if they're not playing the way they're playing, we're not in this position right now.
Hmm.
You know, so everything's just clicking at the right time. And man, September, bring it on. Honestly,
Next week, what's the story? You heading up?
I'm away. I'm away next weekend, so I'll be watching on the telly. But
Mhm.
then I'll be back for GWS last round and roll into finals. It's going to be good.
This is just
Crazy.
language that we're not used to saying. It's crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Man. Like I said, and Nick put it perfectly before. We're talking about the arrogance that we haven't been able to show ever. I've never been able to show it. The last time we were in finals, I was 12.
Yeah.
The 12-year-old doesn't know how to walk around with a smug look on his face, but we deserve it.
12-year-old's not going to
We
work
all
on the morning.
deserve it.
Yeah.
We all deserve it. It's man, time to show everyone what we're made of, I think.
Yeah. I love it. All right, man. I'll speak to you.
See you later, mate.
Gorkhan, 15, says, shout out to the legend who parked his car in the middle of Monies Road last night and was waving the Carlton flag. Does anybody have a photo of that or a video of that? That would be great. All right. Let's have a look. Michael Maloney.
Hello, Terry.
Sunday night, tea in hand, fan cam
Tea.
session.
Very much relaxed, tranquil. Oh, I feel like I've finished just a yoga session. What's happening to us?
I want to know from your point of view what happened during the game, obviously, but you've also got stories after the game and the celebration.
I wasn't there for most of it.
Okay.
I left early, the celebration part, because I was very much similar to you, where I kind of knew what I had to do today and was preparing in advance. But yeah, rocked up to the game and I finished up in the function and went down to the seats. And we were all pretty caught. Like I remember saying, I caught up with Paul and Rocco up in the Yarra room. And I think we had a certain amount of confidence, but a certain amount of trepidation to us just to think that this is the next level up. And then I think at halftime, we went to go saw Joe and we were just saying to each other, listen, if we keep doing what we're doing, good things are going to come our way. And credit to Melbourne, I thought we outplayed the majority of the night. I thought we had the game on our terms for majority of the night. And they're a damn good team where they found a way to put themselves in a position to win. But to say that we outplayed Melbourne for the whole game, yeah, I haven't said that said that for a while, ever. We're talking about a top 4 team who's, premiership threat, ridiculous. Me and Paul, I was probably the more quieter out of the two, out of Paul. But once the umpiring decisions started to go, me and Paul started to bounce off each other, and I couldn't handle that Petrarca goal. I remember sitting next to Paul and saying to him, I can't sit here. I had to stand up, and I was just that anxious. I ran down the aisle. In my suit like an absolute gronk and got all the way down to the front, and I'm screaming and yelling, just hold on, please, hold on. And the 3 deliberates in a row, I'm like, just hold on, please, hold on. The siren went and I slapped the front of the barricade. My hand turned purple. I didn't care. And then I looked up and Paul was at the top of the aisle and I was at the bottom of the aisle. It was like 2 married couple. It was just a married couple running towards each other. Big embrace, hugging randoms. It's just that's the shit that you remember forever. Like those are memories that, as Carlton supporters, it's just as AFL supporters, we're just going to remember that for the rest of our lives. It doesn't have to be something big like a grand final. This is all part of the journey. Like I even saw your video today with your sister and your mum. It's shit like that. That's the important stuff. That's the important stuff.
Especially for those. I mean, there are families. There are families out there that family members have passed away and they're not with them, and there's all sorts of stories like that. So yeah, to have those memories with those family members at those games, you can't take it for granted.
Even after the game, like you were saying, seeing people. Like I remember, I saw my dad, I saw his best mate, I saw my brother, and just the embrace. As I said, like you're hugging people and you're hugging family, friends and randoms. As I said, Rocco was like the Dalai Lama last night. He had people jumping about on him and hugging him and say, all right. Everyone was losing it. But that's what we do this for. This is why we have got this community, is to be happy in these types of happy. Because I tell you what, there's been a lot of bad. There's been a lot of bad. And I remember saying after the Essendon game, because I think we all I don't think we overreacted. We were upset, and we deserved to be upset. And I just said I remember going on Adrian Dehar's podcast and saying, I just want them to find a purpose for the rest of the year. Now, at 15th, you'd be naive to think that we could have been playing for. There's no way in hell anyone thought we'd win 8 in a row.
No.
So you just turn around and say, you need to get some type of positive reinforcement out of the rest of the year in some way, shape, or form. For them to do what they've done and go 8-0, shows more than that's a lot of ticker. That's a lot of ticker.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so can't be nothing but proud.
Yeah. How do you view the next 2 weeks?
I think the football club would have a narrative around them just being non-stop. Like, you've got the foot firmly on the jugular. Just go now. Just keep going. Like, we just have to continue ride this coattail and this wave of momentum. Have to. I think this weekend will be fairly tough. Again, that emotional roller coaster of, you've had such a big win now. Then you'll see the maturity of this group again to another level where we go to somewhere that religiously we haven't played well at. Against a team who can give it, they give you a bit of a rumble every now and then. So, just keep doing what they're doing. They're going to win a lot more than what they're going to lose. I'll tell you that, playing the way they are. And it is completely between these two things, the people that they've got out there. There's no excuse of, we don't have Walsh, Cherry, Mackay, McGovern, Kennedy, Silvani. I've just mentioned 6 of our best 18, and there's just off the top of my head. And, there's none of that excuse. There's actually none of it. And I think, and needless to say, if we were losing or if we lost any of these games, there wouldn't be that excuse either. They're backing in their system. And I'll tell you right now, one thing to clarify, they haven't changed a single thing, even at the Essendon game. There isn't a single thing that's changed. They're just believing. That's it. The system is exactly the same. They're just believing.
It's so
they're
true.
fully backed in. There's this is not, it's not, we've got a new game plan. We've gone to game plan number D. I'm numbering letters. Sunday, 8:57. I've just numbered a letter. I'm just super proud of him. You can't be anything other than happy.
Yeah. Well
Must
said.
be pretty good making content.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy. Not easy. It's hard, but obviously, it's a lot better to be doing it now after any win than a loss. And I've seen rhetoric. I've had conversations with people. People have asked me, is it better when you're losing, or because you got opposition fans that'll come and they'll view the fan cams and you might get more views. And I'm like, no, winning content is like doesn't even compare. The energy and the vibes don't compare. When we're losing, it's
a death.
It's like traumatic because we all feel it so much. We care so much. So, give me winning content over losing content every day of the week.
Please.
Yeah.
They'll get a good number up there and up in the Gold Coast. We have a good fan base up there. Are you going up?
I'm going up. I am.
Oof.
First time.
Yeah.
Look, we've got to get over a few mental hurdles, right? We've gotten over top 4 sides, Collingwood, Melbourne. I have never seen an interstate win in my life.
Yeah,
so
that's a hurdle.
We're going to get over that one.
It's an interesting stadium, interesting place, a good place.
Yeah.
I think you'll have fun. You will have fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're back the following week here to a packed out Marvel.
Yeah.
So I won't start talking about finals until it's not so much when it's locked away, because I feel like it is. Like Joe said it before, it's much harder, like the circumstances of us not making finals now, we'd be 100-1 at the moment.
Yeah.
So that's not even in my thought process, because I just think we're just going to continue winning. We don't have to worry about other teams. We're in a position where we're just winning, just win. But I want to get over these next 2 weeks and then have that break and then finals. Then we'll talk about the F word.
See you there, mate. Every step of the way.
Always, brother. You have a great night.
Ciao.
Good seeing you, man. Ciao.
All right. Oh, no, I'll talk about this later. Let's get through a few more. Okay, Kurt. What up, bro?
What's going on, Terry? Not bad. Yourself?
Good. I'm used to talking to you after a game, straight after the game, wherever you're walking around. So it's good to be here after a good night's sleep.
Yeah, definitely. A lot calmer too. A lot more composed. Well, I don't know. It's all about the narrative, isn't it? The narrative that you just got to believe. It's what it is. I don't think that we need to worry about. We just need to enjoy the ride, regardless of the result. After the Essendon game, we were at a serious crossroads. I've supported this club for 20 years, and I've never seen the club be so fractured after the Essendon game. It was like, whoa. And to see that even the arrogance of our club shattered. And it for me, it actually concerned me a lot. And just to see us, not only us, but the players, the club, essentially all pretty much united and, and pretty much took responsibility and saying, there you go. It's something that you want to see. And I think that we need to reward that with just giving them belief. That's it. That's all you need. That's all you need to do. That's all. And although there's no although there's a small chance being out of the top four making the grand final or winning the grand final, I don't care. I believe that we can make it all the way. Why not? Why not? The narrative's there.
Yeah, and I think getting to finals would be huge for all the supporters and everyone involved at the club for obvious reasons. I think just more from an experience for all of us to actually go to a final together, having endured what we've endured.
Because regardless of what happens this year, I believe we've already established a premiership window. There's been multiple genesis moment, a genesis moment that, regardless of what happens, we're going to win a flag sometime. It's just got to happen. It's in the narrative, and we just got to believe in the narrative. It's there. It's there. We just got to believe.
Amen, brother. Amen. Where are you watching next week?
At home, just TV. Enjoying the game. That's it.
Love it. I hope to speak to you after the game, after a
for sure, my dude.
Good performance.
For sure. All right, take it easy, Terry.
See you, G. All right. Blue Bagger 69. Hey, mate.
Hey, Terry. How you going, mate?
Good, mate.
Glad to see the boys here being a winning team again. And, that you guys, that all the young supporters actually get to find out what it's like to support a successful football team.
It's good.
Sorry, okay.
I was just going to say, it's good to see the boys playing with belief and the fans supporting them with belief now.
Well, this is it, and this is what it's like when your team's successful. But it's kind of better now than it was in the old days because of you. We all get to come together. Being in Western Australia, I'm jealous of you guys in Melbourne that get to live it live, and get to go to the games. But I can also join in on the celebration and everything because of your channel. And that's huge.
Well, that's why it was created, because I was also not living in Melbourne once upon a time, and I sort of felt what that was like. I mean, it was 2.5 years, we'll call it, nearly 3. But I know what it's like to not be in Melbourne when the footy's on and when you can only watch from a screen. So, yeah, it's good that we have it now.
Yeah. And it's good to see that the nightmare, I believe the nightmare's over.
Yeah.
The nightmare of, season after season of just, 2 wins or poor performances. Yeah, are we going to lose games again? Yes, we are. But at least we're competitive now, and we will be. Well, my prediction is Carlton win 4 premierships by 2030.
Well, we're in for one ride.
Yes. Well, it's the way Carlton's always gone. After such their big friggin' premiership kind of droughts, you look back, 68 was the start of their last premiership drought. They 68, 69, 70, I think it was 72, 73. They made the grand finals. I by the time I was 4 years old, Carlton had played in 4 grand finals. That's the name Blue Bagger 69. I was born in 1969. I was actually born on the day that Carlton won the preliminary final to make the 69 grand final.
There you go.
Yeah. But and all I want to say now is enjoy the ride, mate, because it's going to be amazing. Finals, premierships, and whether they can do it this year. What I want to see is one win, one finals win. And what happens after that? Happens. Can they win it? Yes, they can. But the thing is, they're going to have to win 14 games straight to do it. It'll be 14 games, but if they win the grand final,
that would take that would take a premiership team. That would take a premiership side to do it. So we will see.
And did we think Carlton would win eight in a row? No. So anything can happen. So
true.
We'll just enjoy the ride, whatever it is.
Indeed, we will. All right, mate. Good to chat with you.
Same here, mate. Well, hopefully I might see you for the prelim. Can't make the prelim. I'll come over to Melbourne.
All right.
And watch and stay for a week.
I love it.
We'll
Done.
see you at premiership. All right, mate.
See you there, mate. See ya.
See you, buddy.
Simply Cricket. Yes, I'm coming up to the Gold Coast next week. Indeed. All right, who we got? Lewis. What's up, man?
Well, I can't. Well, you know what? I always tell my dad every single win.
Yeah.
Dad, did you promise Terry that you can host you can give your venue to Terry when we win the flag, when we win our 17th flag? And he was like, oh no, oh shit, I did. Oh, you know what? I'm saying it right now. I can't believe we won that game. That was an unbelievable game. I think every player did their job out there. Hewitt, Akers, Cripps. I think those 3 players were our best players. Those 3 were just leaders on the ground. And you know what? I'm saying this right now. We defended very well. We defended very well in the fourth quarter. We applied pressure. That's what we've done for the past. That's what has been so much better throughout the last 7 games or 8 games. And I just want to say this. Full credit to Voss. I want to say this right now. Full credit to him. Because everyone was giving him crap. The media was saying, oh, he's not changed up his game plan. He's not doing anything. Sack Voss, sack him. But he said, nah, this is what we're going to do. We're going to stay. We're going to stick to the game plan. We're going to make sure that we stick to defense. And look what's happened. He stood to it. And you know what? The players have finally believed in him. And look where we are now. We're sitting 8-0 in a good spot to play finals. And Terry, I just want to say, mate, how are you about where your head's at in the games, man? Where are you heading into like the next 2 games, into the finals. Where your head's at now, man?
Where's my head at? My head is it's a good question. My head is always trying to stay in the moment because I think we're going to be a good club. We are a good club, and I think we're going to be a successful team on the field, and it's going to be a team that is consistently good. And I think it's going to be very easy for us to forget where we've come from. So I'm trying to really embrace the moment of like when they first actually took a step from going from a team that was put together and then actually becoming a mature team. And I think we are starting to see that. So I'm just trying to be as mindful and as present as possible.
Yeah, exactly. And my next point is that the fans were just incredible. I just want to say this as a fan base, as everyone, I speak for everyone from this great channel. We deserve this. After what we've gone through, of these tragic times, like after all these years of like us sticking together, of us like making sure that no matter what we're going to do, we're going to be right beside our club, because this is what this emblem is about. This is what it's about. It's about heart. It's about desire. It's about this love for this emblem. And you know what? I love being a Blue fan right now. This is what it's about. We deserve this. I don't care if Melbourne fans say it's touch. That was touch. That's the biggest wobbly. I do not care, man. It's a great win. It's a great job. And you know what? Get ready. September, here we come. No more passengers. No more basket case. It's here, man. We're here. We are going all the way. And you know what? The one thing I learned from this competition, it's all possible. We can do it. I believe in this group now. I believe in us. Let's go. Come on. Let's go, Tez.
Good stuff, Lewis. Thanks for joining, mate.
Thanks, man. Go Blues.
See ya. Go Blues. All right. I've got a very special 4 guests coming on right now. Check this out. Hey!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Jumper Pack. Got up, Blue Burgers.
Hey.
Wow.
What's happening?
Sunday night fan. This is the best. This is the best, man.
How good is this?
It's as good as it gets. I don't know. Rock, you've seen the thing, mate. You've seen good teams become great teams. So I don't know. Maybe I'll start with you. What did you see from this group?
I've been saying it for a while to you that the calmness, I can just feel this calmness. I with the team, I'm just confident in them. I'm not really worried. I know that they're going to do the right thing, and they just keep, one man steps out, next man steps in. I'm telling you, I can see no reason that we can't go all the way now. No reason. And this is a very similar feeling to the Blues of those 90s. I'm telling you, yeah, they had some stars. Let's not forget about 95 and that there's some stars there, yeah. But it's just the way they're going about their business at the moment, you know, like, yeah, this is special at the moment.
Marcello.
It's fucked. It is. I got no other words to describe it other than it's fucked. When I left, it was total disaster. And to what I've come back to is total euphoria at the moment.
Remember this?
Oh, yeah.
We'll get to him.
Yeah, it's crazy. To think that we've knocked off 3 of the top 4 teams in the competition is and beating them comprehensively too.
Yeah.
Not fluky wins. Like last night wasn't a fluke win. We smashed Melbourne.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Like the scoreboard would have said, oh, you know, it was a really tight game and this and that. All right, yeah, on the scoreboard. But the way we played football, they were scared.
Yeah. Don't let anyone, and if anyone says to you about, oh, you were lucky that last free kick, tell them to jam it up their clacker, mate, because I'm telling you that forget about that last kick by Petrarca, the fraud he is, right? Cribs made him look like a dud, right?
He only wanted
I'm telling you, mate, that performance, especially that last 10 minutes, mate, that's one for the archives. That was unbelievable. The way we just kept on
digging
trying-
in. We dug in for 10, 15 minutes of
Mate,
yeah.
I'm
it's-
telling you, that was special.
Another 4-quarter performance, I thought.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Just amazing. I feel very lucky to have been here to see it all live as well.
Wow.
What a great game to attend. If you had to pick one
Of the season.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great one to be,
Best one so far.
Yeah. We were talking about the energy after the game out in the city, and it was if that's how excited people were now for just a game, imagine when it gets to the other side of, everything. It'll just be crazy.
You guys should have seen our mum.
Oh, she was.
It was the best.
She always apologizes to us for.
I'm sorry.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I made you choose. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Hey, but I've done that to my
Yeah,
son.
I think most people do say that. Most parents who force their kids, they say sorry. And now Mum was crying almost like finally it's become
It's real.
become worth it. So
It's real.
it's great.
It's real, man, and it's
real.
great. It's absolutely
Well,
fantastic.
it's our time in the sun at the moment.
Oh, it's fantastic, man.
And we're tanning and bathing in it.
100%.
Yep.
Paolo with the bomb in hand, mate.
Yeah, I think Matula would be happy if I did this now.
Yeah, that's it. Get rid of it.
I think
Get rid of it.
Have you noticed something about this container as well?
Is that your Yaz?
It's
but there's no lid on it.
But he knows
It's over
Yaz
there.
baklava when he
Is that
sees it. Hey Terry, guess
Oh,
what?
yeah, sure. No, go do it.
Look what we brought here.
Is that Kotopita?
It's a cocopita, yeah.
Apparently,
They are.
line, like the line betting. Apparently, yours is like minus 20 and a half.
Yeah.
Mate, I inhale them like one by one.
Yeah, like
Hey,
that.
they've gone down a tree. They've gone down a tree.
We've got everything. We've
He's
got
bulking it.
Gravieres,
Yeah, look at
Well, they're
that.
good. I don't eat sweets, but they're grouse.
all of it.
They're elite.
Potinissimo.
Paolo, how'd you see the game?
Oh, yeah. We deserve it. If we had have lost that game, it would have been larceny like last year. But we seem to be in a lot more control with these games. There's no like 8, 9, 10 goal bursts that you can't sustain. It's a very, very sustainable model that they're putting out onto the field.
When is the last time we've had 5 to 6 goals kicked on us in a row?
No.
No, I can't remember. Yeah.
True.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
I know in the losses, but like when was the last time we copped 5 or 6 in a row?
We
What
don't.
I just say as well, I want to say
We
one
don't.
thing too, and I actually don't think he's got enough credit for it. I was so happy seeing Michael Voss embrace the scenes yesterday.
Oh yeah, losing.
It's just like every bit of footage I saw of him and every photo, I'm like, mate, this guy deserves a lot of credit for him being able to turn. And he would say, and everyone knows, it's not just him, but it was nice to see him be in the moment as well, which is, I think people have kind of missed that too, because, and we were saying before, he said, what was it against Collingwood or was it against, was it after the Collingwood game or after the St Kilda game where he said, we didn't know where our next win was going to come from?
Yeah.
He didn't know himself.
Yeah.
And did you see the footage? I think it was straight after the game here where he was on the boundary there and then he went, wow. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if that was after siren or after, I don't know. But even he's like freaking out a little bit. Like even he's riding this wave at the moment, We're all on it together now. Like he's sitting there going, mate, look what they've just done, Like, no, look, credit where credit is due, man. And the bloke, you got to remember, he was at a point where he didn't know what was happening next week for him. You know what I mean? He
did
would have been
say-
in such stress and pressure, that bloke.
I think it might have been after St Kilda or Collingwood. One of the last few, he did make a comment saying, I didn't know if it was going to go the other way, as in if they were going to sack him again, potentially.
Wow.
And then now that we're
It was
here,
a real
obviously-
thing. It was a real thing.
Yeah. Well, I would have asked the question. And then it's like, okay, this whole thing takes time because you need to build relationships to build trust with one another. And if you sack him, you got to start a new relationship with a new coach, new people. So I'm glad that they stuck fat.
Yeah, I think they had to. I think, and I think his turnaround has been, it's been a nice. Him and Wiedering have sort of like they've been together in the way that they've turned the season around themselves. I also think, and I reckon it'd be nice to see what their relationship is like. I don't mean whatever it means, but since Kemp has come into the team, Wieders has looked they've
Well,
looked
he plays the third man
intercept.
now. He's an
Yeah.
interceptor.
Yeah. They've been very good. Very, very good.
They take me turns.
And like that last quarter when they kicked the 3 goals to start, it just could just see on the tally
So
as
good.
well through the vision, like it just through radio mics and stuff and everything. It just you can't like that Carlton roar is this it's incomparable.
Yeah,
you can't beat it. There's no club that comes close to it.
Yeah,
and the tears.
Yeah, Steph, tell me about the post game.
Why don't you?
Why don't you?
There was
You were there.
Where did we walk through? What was that garden? That
Fitzroy Garden.
Yeah, it was like the slowest, most out of body experience kind of walk, and the whole time it was just like, did that just happen? I can't believe it. I can't believe it. And like shaking hands, tears.
Yeah.
Were there like any gorillas going through? Like,
Gorillas
gorillas everywhere.
Every once in a while you hear someone, go Blues, and it was just like it was an amazing feeling. I think, yeah.
And we went out. We had fun.
Yeah, we went out for
We
a
had
few
a dance.
hours.
We had a drink.
Yeah, no, it was good.
And then people were just coming up like Blues, go
Yeah.
baggers. With like people wearing the top, like
yeah, full on top
Guernseys in the club.
Yeah, it was unreal.
Yeah, like no shame. Loved it.
2 months ago, you'd be ridiculed if you thought about even bringing a scarf out.
Yep. A nice mug.
Yeah, cool mug, man.
You like the mug, eh?
Cool mug, dude.
I bought that for everyone. My papu.
Did you still use it?
Yeah, he loves it.
Oh, that's good.
What did you think, Terry, when Petrarca's ball was in the air? Because it took like ages for it to come down.
So
what were you thinking?
I was having an aneurysm. Jamie, my friend, was behind me. She's like, Terry, you're not really animated. I'm like, okay, I might not be animated on the outside, but on the inside, I can't stop. No, because
on the Simpsons, yeah.
Because I think Paul said this recently. It's like what was going through my mind was if they don't do it tonight, like, oh, that's a lot of scarring, against the same team. So I was like, oh, they're either about to do it for the first time ever or they're going to fuck it up again. So,
well, now there's no mental hurdle with anyone, is there?
Nah.
So they've beaten the team that they haven't been able to beat for ages in Melbourne. They get past Collingwood, who
top of the ladder.
Yeah, top of the ladder and whatever last year. But it's
the Saints, in between, because that game was huge too. You know what I mean? We'd just been in Collingwood.
Port Adelaide, man.
At Port Adelaide.
Yeah, absolutely. Fucking
all of them. All of you.
Terry, this morning you were a little bit like
off with the fairies.
You were both of us were, but we went for a coffee in the morning and we didn't really speak. We sort of just sat there and all we could do was, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. How do you feel now?
Yeah, much better. The whole day, my mind hasn't stopped racing, and I'm trying to sit down and just chill out. It's like like I'll watch a video or I'll hear a sound, and I'm like, oh, got to make a video. Like it just like the creative juices for me is just like I can't explain it. It's just the best.
The juices. Well, it's a different feeling now, isn't it? Like we're about to do something, and I know there's a couple of weeks to go, but that we've never really done, and that's final content now. Yeah,
I think that the scary thing is that everyone keeps thinking about and raising is that I don't actually think they've hit anywhere near their peak yet with the guys we've got to come back into, which is
that's another huge
That's
thing.
Actually
man.
So crazy.
That's huge. Like, usually like in past years or even like we'd lose a game and there'd be one player out, one player out. A dud that's out. And we would go, oh, only if we had him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now I haven't uttered that word for like 5 or 6 weeks.
You don't need to. Yeah.
Walsh is out. Yeah, whatever. Just come in, do your job.
You can't. You've got to if people. I think you've got to understand that you have to peak at the right time. You can't be playing, and it's not that you're not playing your best football on purpose. No. If that makes sense, right? It's you've got to keep something up your sleeve for this time of the year. And we're playing. Remember last year at this point in time, we're falling off a cliff, and you could tell. And you could tell in the rhetoric. And remember how I was losing my mind about what they were saying in the build-up to those last sort of 2 or 3 games. Like, mate, we're stuffed. We are stuck. Now it's gone back the other way. The momentum's our way. They're running on top of the ground. They're running out games. And the rhetoric has come back to, not worried about the next 6 months. Let's worry about what's in front of us. Next training session, next recovery session, next game. Just worry about the game at hand and move on quickly. Move on quickly because, that Gold Coast game this weekend, that we know that can be a bloody banana peel for us. But now we're playing for seeding, which is home finals basically locked in now if you win this weekend after what happened with the Bulldogs. But can you imagine a home final with our fan base? A home final with our fan base. We've been yearning for this. And I think too, and we raised this on the show, in those moments, those high pressure moments in the last 5 to 6 to 8 minutes, when Melbourne just had repeat entry after repeat entry, as much as the players got them over the line, I think that willingness of the crowd, the gasping in every moment, like as soon as we took a mark, everyone was up and about. You hear a tackle, bang, everyone's up and about. And like they hear that, mate. It's infectious. It's infectious. I think getting Walsh, Chera, and Mackay back.
Oh, huge.
Massive.
Huge.
Because now the players that have just job doers have done their job.
Yep.
And now you get the elite guys back.
Yeah.
That are fresh. Well, fresh, whatever you want to call it. They've been rested up for a few weeks.
Yep.
And now you can they probably inject the adrenaline back into them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other
And
thing.
they go again.
Perfect timing for them to come
For them to come back, it is perfect
It's the
time.
right
And it's
time.
probably what we need because sometimes those big players, because you're missing those other big players, they're exerting more energy.
Yeah.
So now they can share the load between them, and you know what you're going to get. You're going to get that higher level again. Instead, like I'm not like denigrating those lower types, but like your Dowls.
I'm just so excited.
Yeah, I know, it's fucking awesome.
Remember what Bruce said? It's just so exciting, isn't it?
I keep to see Walsh and Chera back this week.
Yeah.
The other thing is, I think these players coming back now, Walsh and Chera and Mackay, I think,
And McGovern.
and McGovern.
Don't forget about Gov.
They're the big ones, but they're coming in knowing that these other kids have done the job. So they're going to come in and they're going to come in hard, because they're not going to want to take a backward step. Like, for example, Walsh to Dow. Now, he's not going to want to come in and
he's going to
be
go that level,
outshone, which he won't be, but outshone by Dow. He's too competitive to do that. So I'm telling you, it's going to lift it to another level.
They'll be itching
I
to
must
get up.
admit, a big up to Paddy Dow in the first 6-7 minutes of that last quarter. Like when him and Cripps were combining through the middle for those clearances.
He's done it 2 weeks in a
Love each
row.
other, those two.
They do.
Yeah.
Hey,
They
that
do.
reminded me of Judd and Cousins.
Wow.
How good was that?
Speaking of what's coming up next, looks like the jumper punch has just finished being filmed for Tuesday.
Correct.
Surprise.
So it looks like this is the crew for Tuesday night.
Yes. There you
Just,
go.
I'm saying, it just feels right.
Yeah.
It just like
Yep.
it's all good.
I told ya, Steph, she's a better version of me. She brings you sweets and all of that. Fuck.
I don't know
lift my
about
game.
that.
What did you say? You said you feel like you're not a guest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm a guest. I feel like
Yeah.
I'm just a part of it.
Yeah.
It's like we've known her forever. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah. I actually feel like I've known all of you my whole life.
It's amazing, man. We had such a good time last night, too.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
Love it.
He's just shaking his head.
What a turnaround. What a turnaround.
It's the
Mate,
best.
I don't even know. What do you say?
No, it's good.
What do you
Everyone
say?
Enjoy the ride. Don't blink because you might miss it.
Amen. Amen. All right, guys.
Take it
Much
easy.
love.
Bye.
Yeah.
Go Blues.
Go
Go
Blues.
Blues.
That's amazing. Faz,
Mate, how are you?
good. Yourself?
Yeah, very good, very good. I just love listening to everyone and what they're talking about. For me, the biggest reflection was sitting there speechless last night, and literally 12 months ago being speechless as well, but for a completely different reason. I think that's almost poetic in a sense, that we can have the same emotion, but for two different results. But for me, the moment was this morning. So I had to fight to put my 5-year-old daughter to bed at halftime last night, you know, being a good dad and making sure she went to bed. And don't worry, Charlie, you'll kick goals and all that. And she goes to bed, and when she got up this morning, she said, "Oh, hey, Mads, Carlton won." And her reaction was, "Oh, of course, Dad, Carlton always win." and my it was just a bit like, oh my God, she's witnessing something that we could only have dreamed of in such an early time in her age. So yeah, that was wild. But equally as well, then on the completely other generational side is my old man. And he's at a stage where I've never really seen him like this. He's nervous and anxious and up and about and checking ladders and listening to radio and watching, where usually the last year, 4, 5, 6, 10 years, he's just been watch the game, just not really getting involved in anything else. And then now he says it feels right. And when he said that to me today, it just feels right. That's that's nerve-wracking itself.
Yeah. Where I get excited is when, those who grew up a little before us, who saw the flags, who saw 3, 4, 5 flags, when they talk to me and they're like, "Listen, I've seen it happen 5 times, and I know when I'm seeing it," and they're like,
"Yeah,
buckle up."
Yeah, it's spot on. Because even last year, when like at the start of the year when we were doing our thing, even my old man was like, "Yeah, this is good," and he was just in the moment. But right now, this is it. Like he said, this is what he remembers. And yeah, that's a scary, scary thought for anyone. But yeah, I was talking to someone today, and I said, when we were going through that losing streak, all I wanted to do was just wrap my arms around the boys, just give the boys a hug and say, "Come on, it's okay, we'll get there." And now, equally, I just want to wrap my arms around the boys and say, "We're there!" Like, well done. Like it's just crazy.
Yeah, it's pride. It's a prideful hug now. Yeah,
pride. Like you could not be prouder. Like that is the perfect word. Just proud of these boys. When I rock up to work tomorrow, they would say, "Oh, Faz, how'd you feel?" I said, proud, not pumped, not just proud. It's just I feel like I'm 6'6" and just
Yeah. I'll tell you something about you, Faz, that I noticed this year, which I didn't notice about many. And that was there were a number of fans who, through the dark times, as in the 6-game losing streak, implemented things in their own way of being to change. And I just want to acknowledge that you made a conscious effort, especially with the online sort of space. And I remember reading comments from you saying, I'm no longer choosing to be negative and toxic. Like I'm choosing to be optimistic, or I'm choosing to be practical, because the alternative is it's mortifying. And I actually took a lot from that, reading you and seeing you do that. So I just want to acknowledge you for that.
No, I appreciate that. And I'm glad that one person or anyone can take that away. The reality is I've done a lot of work on my mental health and on a lot of work on my resilience and stuff like that through my job and everything. And during that time, it was a simple case. I just refused. No, I'm not going to get down about it. And that's not a criticism on anyone who did. We all deal with it in a different way, but it's a case of the reality is not what was going on. That was just a moment in time that we we got through, and I kept telling myself, well, whether 2023 ends in disaster or positive, 2024 will start, then 2025 will start, and so on and so on. So that's, yeah. So I appreciate what you said, but the reality is, yeah, it wasn't that long ago where I was in that spiral of negativity, but doing a lot of work on my own mental health and resilience, it is a very, very powerful thing. And it did help get through those times of just, you know what, I'm just going to block out the negativity and just try and control what I can control.
Yep.
Which is still getting to watch it with my dad, still getting to watch it with my daughter, still finding the little minuscule wins here and there. And eventually it's come good. And now there's so many wins, I don't even know what to do with it. So
now you got to put it's I start feeling at times like, do I have to put a cap on being happy? Like, am I allowed to be this happy about things? Like, this isn't something I've ever experienced before. Like, do I deserve this? And it's like, is that just me self-sabotaging myself? Like,
absolutely, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, everyone deserves this, and I say it to anyone I speak to, regardless of who they support. I've got an Essendon mate who's like, "Oh, I can't believe we only just beat West Coast." I said, mate, celebrate the win, because you don't know when the next one's going to come.
Yeah.
So you just celebrate it. No matter if you win by a point or 100, you just celebrate that win, because if you're only going to celebrate when you win a grand final, then you're going to be a very miserable supporter. So you need to celebrate as you go and enjoy the journey, enjoy the moment, because you don't want to get to that point and say, oh my God, I just wasted this whole year stressing when I could have been enjoying it. And that's the best way to look at it.
Yeah. No. Philosophy with Faz. Love it. Love it.
But look, a lot of people do. It's not everyone's cup of tea, and that's fine. That's good. I've copped a lot of flack for it, but if it can help one or two people, then awesome. You know, that's what I'm here for. I'm always up for a chat.
That sort of stuff is my cup of tea, mate. So I'm glad you brought it up. Thank you.
Lovely. Love your work, mate. Have a good one.
See you, brother. All right. Ur, the ever generous Ur has just dropped another 100 and says, Tez, take Steph out for lunch tomorrow. Done. Steph, we're going to Nobu, baby. Let's go. All right. Josh, I see you. Mate.
Hey, mate.
Dabbing him.
Not much. It's a different experience getting on the fan cams, like 24 hours after a game. We've had time to really absorb this, and I feel like we can not only talk about the game, but just talk about what this year has turned into. It's been quite the experience as a fan, and I've really enjoyed it. Obviously, everyone is enjoying it, I'm sure, because the reality is we're going to be playing finals, it looks like. But yeah, mate, do you remember round 23 last year, the VFL is playing Carlton versus Collingwood before the big game, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting with you, my dad, obviously. I think Rocco was there. A few of the Blue Abroad family members. We're all hanging around, and everyone was so confident, and I was there just shitting myself. I woke up at 6 o'clock that day, went to the gym to let energy out. And very nervous. For me, yesterday was different. I knew we were going to get it done. There's been so much time in between last year and this year that the boys, the club, the coaches, everyone involved have been able to learn from their mistakes. And obviously, when we were doing that horrible patch during the year, it didn't look like from the outside, we're like, they haven't learned, they've gone backwards. And one thing I'm so proud about our club is that the 4 doors were secure. They didn't listen to the outside noise. They didn't make the easy decision by sacking Voss. They didn't do anything stupid like that we honestly were accustomed to after so many years of supporting this club. And we heard Wiedering say himself, this club, Vossi is, we love Vossi. He said it to Luke Sayers, I believe, after the Essendon game and all that. So they've really turned it around. And that I don't know, unfortunately, much about the whole Ed Kerno thing when they went to his house or whatever, and they just had like an on it, like just probably a boys' night, you know, hanging around the bonfire and all that. Like, I'm proud. I'm just so proud of the way things have turned around. And like, mate, yeah, I'm so used to getting on the fan cams with you, and like, it's just therapy. It's just therapy. It's insane. And yeah, what do you think, mate?
I think I've been waiting for this for a long time, and what I think is just trying to do my very best to make sure that it's enjoyed, to make sure that it is well documented, and and now it's just like sit back and watch it all begin. It really feels like a beginning of something else. It does.
Yeah, I think so. I think today I went to the reserves game with my dad.
Yep.
And we're driving through Lygon Street, and I'm just saying, so like, oh, this place is going to be so busy when we win the flag this year, just talking a bit of shit, for a laugh and all that. But like, the reality is it's a possibility. It really is a possibility where I don't think we've peaked. I don't think we've peaked. If you consider the outs we've got, we are far from peaking. So like, you sort of dare to dream. Like, you have to dare to dream. The opportunity is there right in front of us, and let's fucking go for it. I'm so excited, mate.
I love it.
A home final at the G. A home final at the G. Can you believe it? It's going to happen.
Where are you watching the game next week?
I really wanted to go up to the Gold Coast. That won't be happening, so I'll figure something out. I'll probably watch it with Dad, or watch it with some friends, or head to the pub. I don't know, but I feel like here in Victoria, mainly for away games, like it'd be a good opportunity. It's like we should have like something where all Carlton supporters could go to like a pub and we can all watch it along together. I think that would be really good. So I don't know if I've got a few ideas. Maybe if anyone wants to message me on Twitter or something, we can figure something out, and maybe
Sure,
this
you can
can
find
turn
someone.
something bigger. Yeah, absolutely. But it would be really good. And yeah, what about you? Obviously, you're going up to Gold Coast, correct?
Yeah, flying up Saturday morning. First time going to watch a game at the Gold Coast. It's the last chance I'm giving an interstate trip.
Oh yeah, you don't
I've
have a
seen
good record.
4 bad losses. Bad losses.
Yeah, a good record.
Nah, it'll be good. It'll be good to go interstate. And see it from the Gold Coast side of things, and come back to Melbourne and be there for the Giants game, and just whatever happens in the next little bit of time, just embrace it and enjoy it. So
absolutely, mate. You could go up to the Gold Coast, come back with a bit of a tan.
I need a tan. It's a struggle at the moment, mate. It's a struggle. Yeah, the only light I'm getting is studio light at the moment. So.
Beautiful, mate. A few more things.
Yep.
I just reckon the depth of this group is unbelievable, and the next man up mentality is like it's amazing how they've all bought into this. Like Paddy Dow coming in, him and Cripps look like they're all Australian partners. To be honest, like yesterday, that was insane. Marchbank, I reckon. Do you give him another year? I reckon I give him another year.
All contract negotiations for me will wait until the end of the season.
Fair enough. That's fair enough.
I want to get as much information as possible and as much data as possible, and then get all of it at the end of the year when it's all done, and then make an informed decision. Not a decision from round 14, 17, from the end. We'll get to the end, and I think that way you just keep players accountable, you keep contracts accountable. But that's just my take. So the Marchbank one, I mean, they may re-sign him tomorrow. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm kind of at a point where it's like, the people looking after the things, let them do their job. They got it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the list management team's doing a good job, and I think we're really I truly believe we are in a position to be successful. This is going to be the first year of a bit of success, and we just keep building on it. I think we're in a good position to be quite successful over the next maybe 3 to 5 years. And what we also need to nail, and this is me speaking very far into the future, is how Geelong have been very consistent over the years with their drafting. We need to create that cycle where we're drafting. We've got a good mixture of young and old players coming through, and hopefully that keeps us really competitive for a long time, and we don't ever have to go through that rebuild that we did between 2015 to. Would you even say the rebuild? When do you say the rebuild ended? What between 2015 to what year? What do you call the end of the rebuild?
The rebuild ended last night.
There we go. I reckon
As in, for me, the rebuild ends when you become a contender. In my mind,
yeah,
and
I
think
agree
you
with
become
that.
a contender you become a contender when you play finals football, and so therefore, I think the rebuild ends this year, September, or last night, depending on how you see it.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, I reckon that's how I was looking at. It's just, I'm very proud, so happy for the supporters, everyone around the ground was so happy. Good to see everyone in the chat not saying being reactive, and sad, and it's just good, mate. I'm just so happy. It's crazy. A year ago, we were all so upset, frustrated, and a year later, it's all happened for a reason. I truly believe everything happens for a reason. And another thing I really believe in is you have to go through adversity in order to become something better and bigger. So I think that's what this club's doing, mate. And yeah, that's it.
Amen. Love it. Thanks, Josh. Speak to you soon.
Pleasure to be on, mate. Good night.
See ya. All right. Still a fair few in the waiting room. Let's get through. Webby, I see you.
Hello, mate.
How's it going? Good. How are you?
I'm pretty fucking good.
You were part of my week preparation, just so you know.
Oh, okay. In what way?
So I like to go through and watch all the highlights against the teams that we play over the last 5 years, 5-6 years. I like to go through all the old photos, and that's when I came across the photo of you back in 2016 or 17, it was 15, whenever that was.
15, 8 years ago. Bit of context, please. Thank you.
8 years ago. So I find the photo of you.
I've mellowed.
You have. Well, I think what I wanted to bring up with you was that let's just talk about that. So you back then, and then now seeing last night, seeing what the group has done since, how do you recollect all of it?
I would say back then I was very frustrated with the club.
Yep.
Off field, on field, everything. And last night came full circle for me. I'm just proud, and there's a calmness to the club at the moment, on field, off field. I remember Brian Cook speaking to the media when we were in the shit, and there was no panic. He came out and said, "We're not sacking anybody. We're just getting back to work in the office, admin, whatever." So yeah, it's just a bit of calmness. Do you feel that as well?
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I think the easy option would have been to sack him again, go through another cycle, and
100%.
just touched on it before with, by doing that, what that does is it breaks relationships, and it means you have to build a new relationship with all the players and the new coach. And if they happen to bring assistance with them. So it's good that they looked internally for the first time in a while and actually put it on themselves. And I think I think there's been a talk about, if only we didn't start so poorly, we could be talking about top 4 now. I think that's more of a long-term thing now for us to be in the top 4 conversation, potentially. I think this year had to happen because the players hadn't taken full accountability yet until 8 weeks ago. So
We
there was a
were in
little
the
bit more
shit, Terry.
pain.
We were in the shit.
Oh, yeah.
And we were sitting bottom 4, below Hawthorn. No disrespect to Hawthorn, but they're totally different to us. Like we at the start of the year were aiming for top 4. And we were sitting in the bottom 4. It wasn't good enough. It wasn't.
Mm.
And people are naive to think otherwise.
Mm.
It just wasn't good enough. I'm proud. I'm happy. And just seeing people after the game, like yelling, screaming, carrying on like everybody. I've seen so many videos today of scenes from the cheer squad. Wishard, my mate, absolutely giving it to his Melbourne mate. To the friggin' member areas, just yelling, screaming, hugging randoms. I bloody hugged so many random people. It wasn't even funny. Like Paulo, Michael, Wishard, like these people that I've known going to frigging games for 5, 10, 15 years, mate. Like, we're all a family. We're a bloody community. Like, yeah? Like, we fight, we argue, but we got one thing in common. It's the Carlton Football Club.
Mm.
We're going for number 17 here. We can do this. Why not? Why not? You just have to make it. We can do this, Terry. Why not us, buddy?
I believe it, my friend. I believe it. I'm just here for the next 2 weeks, and then the journey begins. The next chapter begins for the group.
So I may have jumped the gun last night. So do we need one more win, do we? To get like absolutely guaranteed. Is that right?
No. I don't think we do.
Ladder predictors.
I
I
think
don't do any of that stuff. So.
I believe we're in now. Personally, I
believe
think it's
too,
enough, especially that the Doggies lost and the Giants lost.
Yeah.
I think, but I mean, whatever. I'm pretty sure we're in. It's 12 and a half. I'm pretty sure it gets us in.
We're in, baby. We're going to the finals.
Yeah.
We're going to
Webby,
the finals.
I look forward to the next few weeks with you, mate. So
I will see you on the Gold Coast.
See you on the Gold Coast.
See you, mate.
See you, mate. All right. Johnny Holden has been a member for 23 months. Thank you very much, Johnny Holden. Ur has been a member for 27 months. Thank you very much. There's a couple of you asking for the link to come on the fan cams. I'm going to put it in the comments. If you don't click it now, you'll miss your chance. I've got 4 in the waiting room now. So just stand by. All right. Andrew.
Terry, how are we going?
Good, mate. How are you?
Couldn't be better. Hey, how are you feeling?
Calm, relaxed.
You remember we were having a conversation about what the feeling feels like of having a winning team, and like because of my age, I remember that the early '80s, and I put this experience very close to the '81 experience, so it looks very similar. So I'm very excited.
What was it about 81? What are you seeing? What's the similarities?
Okay, so the word that I'm thinking of is synergy. The team has got they now have a synergy that they haven't had for a long time, and they've just gelled, and they're just working together. That the way that they played and they shared the responsibility of goal kicking during that game yesterday was outstanding. It was an outstanding display of teamwork, and I'm so excited, because it's happening, it's happening right before our eyes, and we'll get there. We will get there.
All in good time. We
But,
will get there.
Yeah. But they Doherty's goal. Oh, mate. That was so good.
You know what?
On the run.
That's another storyline that we haven't spoken about yet. So we're already a little decimated in the midfield.
That's right.
And we lose Doc as well. And then you're playing against the D's who have Petrarca, Gorn, and Oliver in there and still find a way.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. And even as we are looking to the fourth quarter, we were seeing it could be slipping away again, right? We're getting the PTSD of last year, right? And they just decided to dig deep and play the 4 full quarters of what we've been pretty much asking them to do for the last 10 years, pretty much. So good on them. I'm like everyone. I couldn't be more proud of the boys, and I'm pretty sure they're feeling pretty special right now as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just so glad to be part of the journey and to share it with the Blue Abroad family as well. It's a great opportunity.
Well, cheers to you.
Cheers, mate. There we go. It's in the fridge. I'm going to have it now.
Good on you.
That's
Thanks,
it.
Andrew.
Yeah, all good, mate. No worries, buddy. You take care. Go
See ya.
Blues.
Go Blues. Michael Madden just became a YouTube upgraded. I could see here to membership. Ur has also gifted 20 memberships. That's huge. And you don't have any control over who those gifted memberships go to. So that's why No Regrets got one. But you know what? No regret. Maybe this is time. Maybe this is time that we can settle our differences and you can just enjoy yourself. Because we entertain you here for a long time. Mark.
How's it going, brother?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Fantastic, man. I haven't stopped smiling. Still recovering, but I haven't stopped smiling.
Can I just say you look like the most comfortable human being I've ever seen.
Oh, mate. Mate, we won 8 in a row. Like, what's there to not be comfortable about?
Yeah.
No, mate, just relaxing, mate. Like, it just feels so good. Like, I think I read yesterday, the last time we won 8 in a row was in 2000. Now, I'm 28. I would have been, 5 years old back then? I honestly can't remember anything from those days. Like,
right.
it's crazy to comprehend that, our team has just won 8 in a row. And in doing so, at the start, it was only Gold Coast. It was only Hawthorn. It was only Fremantle. We beat a decimated Port Adelaide side. We on a good day. With Melbourne, we got lucky. Are we going to get the fucking respect now or what? Like, it's just so good seeing our boys put in the effort, play with heart, play for one another, play for us, play for the Guernsey every single week. Whether we win or lose, like playing with that heart, that's what makes a premiership team. And again, whether we win it or not, I don't know. Can we win it? Why not? Like, why not us? And I just want to actually touch on something that no one's touched on yet. I noticed a little different strategy with our team selection this year. And I feel like it's starting to pay a real, real effect because at a certain point this year, we were all crying for Paddy Dow to come in. But they kept him in the VFL. They kept him there. They kept pushing him. Work on your craft. The same with Zach Fisher. Work on your craft. Tom DeConnick had a spell in the VFL at some stage. He worked on his craft, as did Ollie Hollands. And they've come in, and we're missing, 6 or 7 of our best players. And they're playing a role. They're not necessarily the best on field, but they're playing a role that is putting us in a position where we are competing with the best teams.
Special.
Mate, it's like I don't know, man. I'm lost for words. Like I can't remember the last time we've been so proud. And if you don't enjoy it now, then when are you going to enjoy it? When you win the
You
flag?
never will.
Because it won't be
Yeah.
it won't be as special then. You got to enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
And I'm just so proud to be a Carlton supporter. Always have been, but I know last night, like, got home from the game, gave dad a massive hug, and it's like we embraced each other. And then I'm like, I looked at my dad, I'm like, look, love you, mate, but I'm going now. I'm celebrating this. So I can't be here. Like, I need to enjoy this because I don't know what it's like. Like, I don't know what it's like. And, like I get emotional talking about it because I've never experienced it, Tez. And if this is what it feels like, then I can't imagine what the other side is going to feel like.
Mm. Well, mate, we're here for it. So buckle up. See you in the next few weeks.
See you then, mate. Go the fucking baggers.
Go to baggers, mate. Take it easy. Tim Wilkes has been a member for 36 months. Wow. Our momentum is significant. Let's not waste it. Thank you very much, Tim. Sayaf.
Big man, what's going on?
What's happening, man?
Fuck, bro, been a minute, huh?
Yeah.
It's been a while, bro. The last time I
You
was
look-
on was the Essendon game.
Was it really?
Yeah, bro. It's been ages, eh? I've just been a quiet observer, bro. Quiet observer. I've been showing up, going to all the games, but man, what a ride. Bro, these last 8 weeks have been like genuinely hectic.
Yep.
I've just seen your message, so I don't know what people have been talking about. I haven't had the chance to watch the fan cams last night. I've just been on Instagram, soaking in all the content. Watched the second half again last night. Bro, what a game. What a fucking game.
It was wild. What they did last night. Do you remember 2021? And we had like 4 different games where we were like, that's the worst loss of the season. And they kept finding a way to make it worse. The last 4 weeks, I feel like, have been the best win of the season every game.
But literally, like, I'm not even kidding you. Today I was talking to Juliet about 2021 and how it's probably the worst year that we had. Because, man, that Port Adelaide game, those 19 goals in a row that they scored at the end. Even the Port Adelaide game at the start of the year, I think it was round 5 or round 4. Bro, that year was bad. GWS was that bro. Your favorite game was that year. GWS was that season too.
2021. Yep.
That was 2021.
Giant Stadium. Toby Green torping it from 50 after the siren in the first quarter. I'll never forget it.
Oh, you were putrid, man. Those fan cams, I'll never forget. I still want to know who smiled at you, after the game when they were walking off.
I won't tell you one. I won't tell you one here.
Bro, what'd you get up to last night? Did you go out?
I did. I had a few drinks. I went out, but I didn't stay out late because got responsibilities. I got shit to do. So yeah. Also, I knew, like, for me, the day after a game is the review. So I just love that feeling of waking up and being like, okay, coffee, shower, let's do it. And I was excited to talk about the game. So. Yeah.
What is it? Your favorite win of the season so far? Do you think it means the most? Or would you put the Collingwood game over it?
I think it means the most.
Yeah.
But that Collingwood game just fucking man.
I still haven't had enough, bro. I still haven't had enough because I reckon we play them in finals too.
Yeah.
I can't
yeah,
wait
we aren't
to
done.
see them,
We aren't done with them. We've got some more. We've got some more.
100%. Who was your best on?
I gave Hewitt, Georgie Hewitt, Daddy George, 23 contested possessions, and for all the midfielders that are out, I think this time last year we were missing Hewitt. And I think we were reminded last year, and we are now being reminded again this year, why George Hewitt's so important to our midfield and our clearance work and our and allowing Cripps to do certain things and allowing even Paddy Dow to do certain things because he does all the defensive gritty work that doesn't go noticed by everyone. So I gave it to George, but I mean, Newman was great.
Newman's
Cripps, I
sneaky for a
thought.
BNFA.
Newman?
Yeah,
Absolutely. I
man.
think he might be. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But, bro, that's always been the talking point about George Hewitt. He's always freed up Cripps. And
Yeah.
even when he went out last year, bro, that was pretty much the start of our downfall. Because
Yeah.
he's a very important cog in that midfield. But, bro, it's a solid team effort, bro. We don't need Charlie kicking 5 or 6 goals every week for us to win, bro. You can rely on anyone. When Jack Martin goes back for a set shot, for once in my life, bro, I feel confident when it's not Charlie Curnow. Literally any play that's got the ball, if it's Blake Acres, if it's George Hewitt, whoever that's lining up for goal, you're like, nah, he'll kick it, he'll slot it, because they're delivering in, week out. Cripps, he doesn't have to carry the whole team on his back anymore. Everyone's just playing their own role, and it's finally gelled together. And I can't believe I'm saying that, bro, because 8 weeks ago, this season was done.
Yeah.
8 weeks ago, Voss was about to get sacked. Bro, I said to myself, we have to rebuild again. It's fucked how much, like, things can change literally in 2 months. It's crazy. It's actually, like, I don't even know how we're here, bro, but I'm just trying to soak it all up, enjoy all of it.
I'm grateful that it's been a shock. I'm grateful that there's a shock factor to it, because we all try and predict and project what's going to happen because it's interesting and you want to know where it leads to. So I think it's really cool that it's a shock for all of us, and I think it's only ever going to be a shock for all of us now, because I think now we're going to be more. We're not going to be a basket case. I'm pretty confident in saying that.
But would it be a Carlton away if it wasn't a shock, bro?
Yeah.
They had to do it to us. They had to lose 8 out of 9 games, make our year look absolutely shit, and just turn it fully around. And, bro, they're scared, bro. Whoever, like, the whole competition knows, like, we're here now. And I don't even exaggerate when I say that. And that's honestly crazy, bro, because growing up as a Carlton supporter has honestly been absolutely, like, embarrassing, bro. You tell people you're a Carlton supporter, bro, they laugh at you. But now, bro, we're here. What's expectations for the rest of the year? How far do you think we can go?
All the way. All the way. Yeah. How far can we go? I think we can go all the way. And what I've been saying every week for the last 4 is bring that heat, bring that intensity, bring that application, and lose. No worries. No worries. I'll cop it. But if you bring that application to a game, 4 quarters consistently, and teams beat us, then so be it.
Sorry, we've beaten Port when they were second, Melbourne when they were second, Collingwood when they were first, and Saints when they're 5th. We beat anyone on a good day or a bad day if you play like that. Bring that pressure, bro. That pressure is elite. The tackling, bro, the smothers. It's just a different team. And you can tell with every single effort, every tackle, the crowd gets up, gets behind them. They're appreciated. They're appreciated now, but because they're giving us a reason to appreciate them and enjoy watching them play. And that's the best part of footy. And no matter what happens, bro, in the next 2 weeks, like, it's been a good 2 months, to say the least.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
But, bro, we've got a home elimination final coming.
We're walking to the G over the bridge.
We got a home elimination final, Terry.
Yep. Got to do it. Got to get there, but I'm looking forward to it. I really am, man. I'm really looking forward to it. We got some special things coming up on all fronts for everyone.
How do we buy finals tickets, bro?
I don't know. Can you? I don't know if you can.
I don't know. I've never been there.
Which website do we go to?
This is a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah. It's a where were you? Where were you when they made finals for the first time? Where were you when Charlie Curnow played his first final? Cripps, these guys, like, it's that. It's like, we've grown with these. They're men. We saw them as we met them as teenagers. They're now men in that second half of their career. This, the core guys, And it's like they've just done it from scratch, from the beginning.
Cripps and Weeders have been through it all.
Yeah.
If there's anyone that deserves a bro, it's those two. I'm so happy for Patrick Cripps, bro. I'm genuinely like seeing him on that footage last night. Bro, all of them, the way they celebrate after that win, it just makes me so happy, man. But that roar when that siren went last night, it's the loudest thing I've probably ever heard in my whole life. Genuinely deafening. I don't know how many times I've watched a replay and put my car on full blast just to hear that roar. Literally goosebumps all over again. Every single time. Every single like that. Like I know we talked about the Port Adelaide game and how we'll talk about that for years, but that game last night, I don't think anything's going to top that for a while, unless of course we win a final or something. But
it's going to get louder because that was only 68,000 people. Wait till there's 85, 88, 89, 90. Like it's only going to get louder.
It's crazy. Our fans are the best in the business. No doubt about it. The most passionate, the most loyal. No way around it. And I'm so happy to see you guys and everyone else so happy, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck every other team. Fuck every other supporter. Was it before I go? Was it touched or not? Like honest verdict.
It was touched.
Was touched?
It was touched. Marchie said it was
Yeah.
touched. The umpire said it was touched. The goal line
Yeah.
technology didn't say it wasn't touched. It was touched.
Yeah, bro. Get better cameras, huh?
Yeah.
Fuck, bro. What a ride, bro. It's just the start, huh?
Just the start, man. Got more of you to come. More of you to see.
100%, bro. So good to see you, Terry.
You
Straight
too,
up,
man.
bro.
Take care,
I'll
bro.
speak to you soon, yeah?
Yeah, done.
See you, brother.
See you, man. Dom Pang.
Tez, how are you?
The true blue abroad.
Been a while, but I've
Yeah.
been watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a ride, eh? What
Yep.
a turnaround. Just so proud of the boys. So proud of the coaches as well. I'll tell you what, I was pretty negative on them, when we were losing. I was pretty negative on Vossi and, I didn't see it. And a lot of other fans had the faith in him, which, I really respect. But I mean, like this last 8 weeks has just been incredible. And we've won in such good ways as well. We've won 4-quarter victories, and recently, as Voss was saying in his presser, we've had different kinds of wins. The one against the Saints where we came from behind and, this close game, and all of the team are performing, and it's just amazing. And I'm totally with you. I reckon we can go all the way.
Yeah. I mean, you make the 8, you can win it. Now, are your chances of winning it based off what the history suggests a little less because you don't finish in the top 4? Yes, of course.
Yeah.
But the reality is the only way to win the flag is to finish in the top 8. So
Well, I reckon we're the best team in the comp at the moment. Number 1 defense. If you look at we've got number 1 defense now, and we've beaten 3 out of the top 4 sides. And any side that plays us now will be seriously worried. Yeah. And I think the boys have got the belief. The coaches have got it right. They didn't have it right before. The criticism was fair. They didn't have it right, but now they do. They've got the balance, and like we're playing to our strengths. And every player has a role as well. Every player understands their role, and we can 100% go to the grand final and win. This year, it's incredible.
How many more tears are there left to cry? Because playing a final will be like a crying
and I just want to
moment.
say, someone living overseas, it's great. Like I kind of lived through people who can go to the games and experience that energy and intensity. And also people who go with their family. That's one thing that I can't do. I can't be at the games and I can't be with my dad. He lives in another country. And so you're really lucky to do that. And I mean, I'm really happy for you guys, you know, when you can go and have those experiences and memories, because I know a lot of people have been getting on and sharing that, and that's just amazing. And every time I watch a game, I think of my grandfather and my dad, you know, and spending time with them, you know, when I was younger, you know, and that's what the community is about. So yeah, good on you.
Amen.
Yeah.
Thank you, mate, and congratulations on addition to the family.
Hey, latest bagger.
Oh wow!
Latest bagger. This is Luna Lily. I might add that we've won every game since she's been born.
Great.
So she's a lucky charm.
What a little champion she is.
Yeah. So it's very, very happy times at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Whoop.
Up and about.
I think you're cutting out there.
All good. Mate, good to see you, and
Yeah,
all
thanks,
the
mate.
best.
Sorry, cut out there for a moment.
All good. See
Yeah.
you, mate.
Cheers, Tez.
All right. Christian.
Hey mate, how you doing?
Good. How are you, mate?
Good, thank you. I know you've been here a while, so I'll try and make it a bit quick. So there's two
all
things
right.
I want to say, and then I want to ask you a question. First, I think the last 3 weeks we've managed to have our best win of the season, and then we topped it, and then we topped it again. If you take out the Collingwood factor, I reckon we can all agree on that.
Yep.
Secondly, David Cunningham is going to play his 50th game next week. He has not been suspended for the sling tackle, which is great. And now finally, the question I want to ask you, in the final minutes, which players stood out to you? Because the two that stood out to me are probably George Hewitt and Blake Acres, and they stood out because when they got the footy in the defensive 50 in those high pressure moments, they did the right thing with it. George Hewitt especially, his handballs off to players in space, probably what won us the game. So which players stood out for you?
Yeah, I'm with you on George. Part of the reason why I gave him player of the game all the way out, why I would vote him as player of the game, was because of when it got hot and when it got really into that crunch time, it's like he was prepared, which he is. I believe George Hewitt, I could be wrong on this, but I believe he's played 7 finals in his career. And so he just had this ability that as the heat kept intensifying, he was able to withstand it. And I think Cripps as well. Cripps and
Cripps is another one.
These bigger bodies, as it got hot in the fourth quarter, their ability to withstand it and step it up. And I mean, on Cripps, like the idea of him playing in finals and getting better as he gets into finals is very exciting.
His celebration after the win was just
yeah.
You can see.
So.
But yeah, just to see the experience, guys, because I think that's what we were lacking last year in those moments.
Yeah.
To see them come and deliver, phenomenal.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are sort of my main thoughts, mate. So
yeah,
thanks
very
for
good.
getting me on. I know we've been here for 2 hours and 17 minutes, so I'll make it short and sharp, mate. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thanks
Love your
for having me
work.
on.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate it.
Have a good one. Thanks, mate.
See ya. Jared.
Oh, wasn't ready. Hi, Terry. How you going?
Good, mate. How are you?
Really, really extremely over the moon the way they're playing. They're gelling as a team. I mean, I was talking to my friend about since they went down to Ed Curno's property, whatever happened. I mean, it's not just the coach, but they just work as a team. And even when they, last night I was on the fence with my partner, just couldn't believe that feeling that last quarter from the crowd and everyone around, right? It was just, I thought they were going to go away with the game when they were 3 goals in front. And I thought Melbourne came back, right? But I thought Carlton's defence was second to none. I don't know what you think, but it's just amazing. And I know, look, I've had faith that they're a good side. They've had a lot of number 1 picks, right? From Jacob Weedring. I've always loved Cripps, Charlie. I still think, you haven't got Sarah and Walsh. Is there a spot for Mackay? I think there is, to take Charlie's pressure off him. opponents. So it's looking pretty healthy, isn't it? The Gold Coast, like we're going up there as the Blues Brothers team. A whole lot of Tony up in the Gold Coast has organised it. And looking forward for another win, hopefully, and continue. And hopefully Melbourne lose to the Hawks. You never know.
You never know, mate. You never know. I think today was a good example of that. I think the Hawks really... I watched the Hawthorn Doggies game, and I think we're the example of that. You never know what's going to happen.
I mean, in the following week, Melbourne plays Sydney in Sydney. So if they lost their both games and Carlton won 2, you never know. We could end up 4th.
Collingwood, the MCG, round 1 of the finals. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I know. I mean, would we have a few more players to pick from? I mean, like Dowell, I'm so glad he's getting a go.
Yep.
I don't know what you think, but it's great. I mean, I think he's got exceptional talent on the field when he gets a chance.
I think he needed to go through what he's gone through to show what he has shown in the last few weeks. I think he was challenged in his career, and he was challenged to get better, which I don't know how challenged he was to get better and earn a spot in the side early in his career, because I think our mentality at the time was a little different. It was, you're the future, get in there and go for it. Whereas now it seems like he's really had to refine some of these deficiencies that he's had, and he seems to be working on them. And I think also it's a test of his character. Like, when things aren't going your way, that's a better marker of a human being's character than when things are going their way, I think. So, I mean, I think it's all just part of his story.
And emotion, you know, my partner was crying after the game. People were hugging. After that game last night, right? I know it was great to beat Collingwood, to beat St Kilda, Port Adelaide, etc. It was very emotional, wasn't it, after game? I've never felt it so much. And what they did and how they just... I think they would have been unlucky to lose the game. I thought they were superior on the night. That's easy to say, but I thought they played pretty good football. I don't know what
No,
you
they did.
thought.
They did. No, mate, of course. Yeah, they absolutely did. Yeah.
And then the finals. If we, you know, win the next 2 games, and I know we've got to keep winning week by week, but then we could do a lot of cause a lot of trouble in the finals, couldn't we?
We will get there, and then we will break everything in our path.
And we've got so much to play for. These players like Cripps haven't played finals, you know, there's so many in that side. So many people haven't seen a final for years for Carlton and players. They're playing for a lot when you think about it.
It's true.
Anyway, we're so happy.
Well, it's good to have you here.
Yeah.
Have you been on the fan cams before?
No, I haven't.
I didn't think so. Yeah. It's good to have you here.
No, I watched it and I just didn't know how to go on it. I'd worked it out. But anyway, it's been an emotional ride the last 8 weeks.
And there's more emotion to come in the next 8 weeks, mate.
Yeah, I know. Premiership, etc. That would be fantastic. I don't know how everyone would take it, but it's possible.
Yeah. Thanks, Jared. Appreciate your time, mate.
Thanks, Terry. Bye.
See ya. All right. Got a couple more. I just remembered something. So I was talking about it last night on the fan cams. Yesterday, BA Saturdays, right? The pins, mate. The pin. It's arrived. It's here. So, well, my one's here. So this is how it works. This pin is called the 17th. It's $17. Shipping is free. It's all included. The link at the top of the live chat on YouTube right now has your ability to get one on pre-order. I ordered them this morning. So they're on the way. They're probably about a week or 2 away, I think. So 17, I told you yesterday, the reason why it's 17 is because until we win the 17th flag, that's what the cost will be. And then when we win the 17th flag, they will go up to $18. When we win the 19th flag, we'll go up to $19. So we're just trying to manifest the number 17 as much as possible. So, yeah, get your pin. They go really well on your scarf. And, yeah, just gives you a little piece of BA history, given the journey that we've all been on. And, yeah, there you go. Check them out. I'll have more flashy ways, and we'll do like a proper launch for this as well. But for those of you who watch week to week and day to day, like give you a little bit of insight. So those are the pins. Now, got a couple left. So let's do this and then we'll finish up. Max, you here?
Hello? Hello?
Max?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Hello, hello. How are you?
Good, mate. You?
Yep.
You're cutting out a bit.
Hold on.
Okay, we're going to leave that for now. Damo.
Hey, Tez.
What's going on, brother?
Fucking Tezza, mate. Fucking Tezza. How fucking beautiful is it, mate? How fucking beautiful this club is, mate. Oh, seriously, last night didn't even hit me. Like, it was just like that game was so close, and that replay, thank you, God. Thank you, God. It was, I was just worried about last night's game, but then when I got home, you know, because just before I got home, everyone come up to me and 15 randoms like hugging me and kissing me. We love you, Damo. We love your passion. Rah, rah. I didn't even know people knew my name. And this is thanks to this channel that's helped me found a few good friends as Carlton. Lana's just messaged me now. She sees me on fan cams. Hi, Lana. How are you? And it's just like I got home. I was laying there. I was watching the mini on KO. And then I just had to pause it because I just fell in tears. I just fell in tears that the moment's finally come that September's coming for those baggers. You know, it's just it's so brilliant. It's so brilliant. And I just want one thing just to hold you for a moment. Sorry, mate. That my birthday is August 21. Yeah. Last year, August 21 was Collingwood.
Wow.
It was the Hawks' birthday. Now this year and the next week, I can actually enjoy my 40th this year and be happy and just enjoy that Carlton making the finals. But, I'm just over the moon. I'm over the moon. And the funniest thing, I actually felt something would change quickly. Like, I know it sounds stupid, but maybe it's just hope and want. But I just had a feeling that the season wasn't finished yet, and I still had that hope that the door would be open, and it did. It did. Geez, I love this club, man. I fucking love it. How good are we when we play like this? This is just and as you said, like just the finals experience from certain players that we brought in of Hewitt, especially like. When there's a big game, Hewitt stands up, doesn't he? Fully fit.
He does. He's got that ability, and he's in a midfield that needs him and he's required. And the Swans, mate, that's a gift from the Swans. George Hewitt, he's a serious player, isn't he?
Isn't it? And they didn't even fight for him, really. You know what I mean? I'm so surprised. And we've got to give it to Vossi, yeah. Like Huey had some injury problems, and we'll ask him questions. Why is Huey sub and not getting picked? But Vossi just knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing. We were questioning it a few weeks ago, but I'll tell you, he's actually now I can see why Vossi is the man, because he's really our list of players that now we finally got the depth at the right time of the year too. And everyone's being managed, you know what I mean? Most players are being managed, and that's a big thing going into September, a real big thing. Because you remember the Bulldogs 2016, was it? That they had all these injuries, and then they had the week off before finals, you know, that rest, and then they were ready for September at the right time. And there's some similarities, Carlton and Bulldogs 2016 right now. some real similarities. And of course it's hope, but I'm telling you right now, we will be their grand final day. I'm not saying we're going to win on that day, but if you're going to ask, yeah, we are. But we're going to be their grand final day. I'll call it right now. How stupid it sounds, but I don't know. This group is capable of big things, big things. And the most underrated player right now that a lot of people haven't spoken about is probably Brody Kemp, man. Brody Kemp, he was huge, especially in that first half. He was absolutely huge, mate. The growth that kid's brought, and that's another one. Vossi wasn't in a hurry to bring him in. He brought him in the right time when he was ready. You know what I mean? And we're starting to see like him, Fogarty, Cunners, these players, Jack Martin. You know, I actually, you know how stupid this sounds. I actually seen improvement from that Essendon game. We had one bad quarter where we were smacked, right? But we were right in that game, except that third quarter. And the way he managed Jack Martin that game and just subbed him out, just little things like that I'm looking back at now. I'm like, Vossi knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing, mate. You know what I mean? And yeah, I was just unfortunately I can't share it with like my family and stuff like that. But I'm lucky that a few randoms that I've become friends with now and that are blue baggers and that I can share it with. I'm just like absolute, yeah. I'll turn me off before I break down again. But I just
We're gonna
love
get you out of here, mate. But as long as you know
mate.
that you're a part of this family and the Carlton family, that's all that matters. Yeah.
And I love you, Tez. Go the Baggers, mate. Go the Baggers.
Mate. See you, mate. All right. Now, I've got a guy in the waiting room right now who has not been on the fan cams for a long time. He's been dipping in and out. He's dipped out again. It was Mark, Mad Dogs. He wants to come on. So, like, I know he's watching, but he's tuning in. He logs into the studio and then he logs out. So we can finish the fan cams now. Or Mark can come back on the fan cams. So chat, I don't know, what do you want? Let him know because he's watching and he wants to come on, but he keeps coming on and then he keeps exiting. So I don't know what to do. Might give him 30 seconds. Let's see. Let's see if he's coming on. I saw him 3 times. He logged in right here, right in front of me, right in front of me. I don't know. Doesn't want to be here. I know he does. He logged in, then he logged out. Anyway, maybe next week. Maybe next week the return will happen. All right. That's the fan cams. 2.5 hours on the second night. Can I just say I love the day after fan cams. I think we should do this again. If we have a Saturday game, like a late one, just do a little cheeky hour. And that way we can all go and celebrate and then do one the next day. Fan cams with the chill energy about it is a different experience. So anyway, that's that. Now, tomorrow, big 6 p.m. the ratings, the new and improved ratings that continue to get new and improved. So we're going to have a heat map for every player, the full stats, the whole shebang. That's 6 p.m. tomorrow. 7 p.m. the BA show, and then straight after the BA show is the Almost Blues Brothers. So yeah, you know, a lot of work goes in over a long period of time to get the content and to get the shows prepared. And I think it's awesome to see all of our content creators that are on the channel who have all done week to week content when it's been tough, because it is tough. It's really difficult to do when we're losing because people's emotions are heightened. It's sensitive. And there are weeks where you just think about this. Think about coming home after Essendon the next morning and then like turning on the camera and being like, all right, I'm going to film this. And you're like, you know, within yourself, like, you know, it's like, what in the world am I going to say here? But you have, you know, you do it because you've committed to the cause. So, you know, for Joe, for Dan, Jules, for Pommy, for the Jumper Punch boys, you know, even Ari, Nathan, everyone, Lek Dog, everyone that comes on and has been providing us with content for the last, you know, 4 or 5 years, whatever it's been. Yeah, we're going to enjoy this, no doubt about that. So anyway, that's that. Happy Sunday. Get your pins. Link is in the top of the live chat. And I'll see you tomorrow night. Go Blues.